What is up, everybody? Alright, so I got the Spartacus solo done, which is actually the stage we're in right now. Man, I was super happy with it. Like, it took me a while to really figure it out. Like, I really had to work my ass off to figure it out, and when I did beat it, it wasn't like, you know, just see red, press red. It was a pretty decision-heavy solo, so honestly, I super can't wait to make the video because it was great. But yeah, we'll be moving on from Luvia today. We might fight her 1 or 2 times, you know, but we'll. It sucks. It's such a fun stage. It's such a fun stage because like it's not so hard of a solo that only the big boys can do it. But you got to be, you know, in the top half, right? You got to be a pretty good unit, and then like you know, playing well really matters, and those kinds, especially for lower rarity. So it's just, and because everyone's neutral, everyone is neutral, you know, you get to test everything ever, and it's kind of awesome. But, yeah, I can't wait to show that, though. It's really good. So I guess today is the last day. We only got a few hours left of the lottery, which is kind of sad because, you know, void dust. But we got New Year's coming up. Probably have GSSR, so, you know, I can get, you know, Ishtar again. Whoop-de-doo. Hey, thank you for the Twitch Prime. How the hell do you say this name? Twitch Chooser something? Anyway, thank you for the sub. But let's see, what do we want to do here? You know, I kind of want to use Twitch user. Excuse me. That would see. This is why. Look, you make the U capital, and then it's easy, right? Just you make the T capital and you make the U capital, and there you go, and it's no problem. But no, everyone makes fun of Boomer Green because I can't, you know, figure out where the words change and shit. But you idiots can't figure out how to use capital letters. Like, what the fuck? It's like you walk into the side of a wall, right? Because you're not looking where you're going, and then you make fun of a guy right next to you for stepping on a Lego. It's like, what are we doing here? Anyway, I want to use Ku because I never used Ku since he got buffed. Now, I know for a fact, just because of the nature of this fight, that the best CE for Ku would be like Black Grail, Yang CE, not Golden Sumo, Art of Death, right? Those kinds of things. Like starting MP is way less valued here for a lot of units. If you're going to live a long time, if you're not going to live a long time, then starting MP can still be really good. But I'm going to try with Golden Sumo just to be, you know, standard, right? I don't really want the extra value, but maybe I'll do it with Black Grail or something after just to kind of compare it. But yeah, if you're not going to live very long and you're only going to fight Luvia for a little bit and you want to try to get 2 NPs off, starting NP is really good still. But units that can live a really long time, because this fight does go on that long and because Luvia has a decent hit count, generally starting NP is way less valued than normal. But if you're like, you know, Izo or Jinke or someone like that that's just going to fall over dead pretty quickly, then you want starting NP generally. Alright, let's see how Ku does with this buff now. Honestly, I like all of Enkidu's Ascensions. I go with stage 2 because it's his canonical look. That's generally what I do when I like everything about the same, but all of his stages I think are pretty good. Hey, Arjuna. Alright, let's see. I'm still in slow-mo. That's because like I did the final turn with Spartacus, you know, in slow-mo. That's the, you gotta, you know, style on him. Watch this mad Starjin right here. I don't think either of the Buster cards made any stars. That was pretty lame. So I know this because I fought her a lot over, you know, the different accounts and whatnot. But she casts her attack up, defense up, battery the least. Like, very noticeably so. It's actually not rare to go through a full fight with her and have her never do the defense up. But if she does do the defense up, it's pretty devastating, right? Because it's 3 turns of you doing a lot less damage. So it's kind of, it's rough if you want to bring the defense removal command code or not. Because it's like, if she doesn't cast it, then it wasn't very good. But if she does cast it, it's so bad, it's like your only way to bail yourself out. So it's kind of a weird one. Thought about using Chin's quick card, honestly, just to maybe get a lucky crit next turn. Alright. You know, Arjuna, I feel like your emote right there kind of encapsulates Twitch chat as a whole. Like, no specific users Twitch chat or anything, but like, just Twitch chat as a whole. It's that and then the follow-up, right? Like, pretty much that. Okay, what are we doing here? There's no reason to use our third. We're probably never going to use our third skill for like the whole fight. I was gonna say, you know, like licking a frozen pole, right, and then your tongue stuck to it, right? What's sad is some people really do fall for that. And because there's always new people being born and there's always young people like, you know, 7 and 8 and all that stuff, you know, I'd say pretty much every year you have several people that get in that circumstance. You know, 25k at neutral on a Buster crit when it's in first place is pretty wild. That command code's really good, and then he's got the, you know, normal card boosts and all that. Let's see, my Guts last 3 more turns. I suppose I use invincibility then. Man, we're gonna win this pretty hard. I think Ku's good. Just a little bit. There's always someone that needed hot water. Yeah. Hey, Boatless, what's up? Thank you for the resub for 35 months. I appreciate it, man. I remember when Boatless sent me that video of him dropping his keys down, like the crack at the bottom of an elevator, and everyone on Discord like freaked out. And everyone was like, did you buy a new car? Everyone was like going through the list of like why he might have done that and had maybe not have it been a big deal. But it was like, nope, not a new car. Those are my real keys, all this stuff. But come to find out, he like worked on that elevator shaft, so he could just get them like it was nothing. I still wouldn't have the nerve to do that though. Like even if I worked for like in that business, I would not have the nerve to do that. I'd be too big of a chicken. Yeah, I think I heal here and then see if I can get one more turn out of my guts and have it go off next turn. And then just cast protection from arrows whenever it's done. Kind of weird to play that way though when you have protection from arrows ready to go and then you could do the cooldown reduction and everything. But I have so much wiggle room, I'm like, I can fuck around and see what happens, right? So I'd be like, what if he got caught on something on the way down? What if like it landed somewhere weird, right? Like I would never have the nerve, man. And way broad. We broad. Well, and thank you for the resub for 2 months. Okay, at 91%. That's really disappointing. We could have done such great things there if we had gotten our NP. We would have won this turn. Might actually win this turn anyway. Nah, our crit chance is too low. Well, we'll win next turn now, but that's kind of disappointing that we could have won this turn if we had gotten our NP. Oh, and Takad Nado. What the hell are these names? Where do you come up with this shit? Anyway, thank you for the 2-month Twitch Prime sub. I swear, I swear, these last 2 days, I'm telling you, dude, I'm telling you, my chat is after me. Like it's bullshit. And thank you, Arjuna, for the gift sub. The last 2 days have been nothing but bullshit names and no capital letters and like just they're after me, man. It's like a reverse scam train. But I appreciate the support, everybody. Okay, we not only we were like super win here. We got the max attack up and everything. I completely forgot I did that. What even is that? Fidge-san? Fidgy-san? Fidgy, just, you know, something. Thank you for the gifted, I can't, what are you all doing right? You're about to make me forget to cancel the app, by the way. And say, I can say Say's name. That's not a big deal. But thank you for the sub, guys. See, you guys really don't understand, right? Like on the one hand, you know, you're happy if you get subs and everything, right? You know, it's great. But like, how do I describe this? It's like, you know, my stream's doing fine. Life is good. You know, but I don't want to deal with these names. I legitimately don't want to deal with these names. I'm telling you, these people are you get like one name change every like 3 months or 6 months or something. Look at this fucking name. You Kivercine something? You know, what's this? The sub, okay, and then Zerk with the 200 bits, I can handle that one. Jesus, although your Z's not capital, you bastard. God. This is like, I swear I've gotten the most subs I've ever gotten in like the last 2 days. And it's just because everyone's making fun of me because I can't say people's names. Great. Big scam train, though. See, this is the meta. You pretend to not be able to read, and then people throw money at you for some reason, right? See, clearly that's what's happening. If that was the case, I would actually be reading the names proper at this point, but, Alright, oh, fuck, my main account's in a stage, hold on. It's the final turn, though. It's Fionn go Burr. I want to slot Black Grail, and I want to see the difference. And then I want to slot the Yang CE. Although my Yang CE is not limit broken, and it's not 100, so it might not actually do that much better. The only time my Yang CE is really strong is if they have invulnerability. Otherwise, it's pretty much on par with Art of Death. So I don't have access to the true bullshit right now. Unless, of course, they do have invulnerability, but that's not a thing in this fight, though. He bamboozled us. Yeah, I wish. Okay. Stage over. Let me make sure I've done everything I really need to do on this account. See, I've done all the bonus stages. I think I've gotten all the black boxes or Christmas presents or whatever they're called. Actually, I haven't. Shit. Although I've gotten the lore and the summon ticket and it's everything I really care about. Let me see here. I guess you get these boxes like for the first 15, and then I think you stop getting them. See, when everyone spams the highlighted messages, they don't actually stand out. It actually makes it harder to read them, I would say. Yeah, my main has done like 28 boxes or something, and then this account's done like 15, 16. My regular ult's done like 15, and then I don't know what the hell I did on an A. I think I did like 12 on an A or something. Can I get that apple? That's like, all I really would want is the 2 golden apples. Everything else I don't care about too much. Maybe you get these up till the first 20 boxes. I probably won't get all of them then, damn. 130 boxes, yeah, I haven't been able to farm that much. But, you know, it's making videos and everything else really adds up, so. But I'm happy with what I've gotten done. I've done pretty well. I'm not 100% sure what my main's done. I know I've done like over 26, and I've got a good chunk of the things on me, so maybe I've got up to like 30 or something. That's good enough for me. Yeah, you gotta do those like bonus stages underneath the challenge quest to get enough black boxes to get them all. If you haven't done those yet, make sure you do them real quick, right? Because they are a lot of free loot if you do them. So and they don't even take AP, so make sure you get those done. Alright, let's slap Black Grail and Coup here. Thankfully my Black Grail is 100, so totally worth. I gotta say though, I actually think Black Grail is significantly less good now if you have a limit broken Yang CE. Now, sometimes it's still going to be better because some fights you're just going to be NPing so rapidly and things like that. But because the Yang CE also works on your NP, so it's not that far behind Black Grail, and then all your normal attacks, extra attack, all that stuff is also benefiting from it, and you have Pierce and Vulnerability, I honestly think Black Grail is way less good now. And you know, Black Grail's always been kind of a tech option. You know, there's a lot of situations where it's not really that good, but in fights like this, it was normally like the meta, but like I think for a lot of people, if you've got a level 100 Yang CE, it's better than 100 Black Grail, unless maybe you're someone like Summer or Toria, right, and you're just NPing constantly, right, then it's doing pretty good. But for I think a lot of people, I think the Yang CE has just eclipsed it. But Black Grail is unlimited and anyone can get it at any time, where the Yang CE is obviously not. You know what, let's go default. Let's just really focus on the murder and not care about survivability or looping. We're just going to go for the damage here. And Ard, I swear, these names can't be real. These names, I swear these names can't be real. At least there's capital. Ard Honori? Hey, thank you for the sub. I appreciate the support. Everybody learned that, you know, Green Man can't read names, and then they're just like, let's just spam this crap. Anyway, I appreciate the subs, guys. Legitimately though, I don't need them. I'm fine. Like, go give to a charity or something, right? Like, I'm good. Life's great. You know, YouTube's doing good. It's all. Hey, Jackie, thank you for the resub for 6 months. But like, holy shit, can we stop making the crazy green man say weird names? That would be fantastic. Getting paid to not be able to say names. Pretty much. Pretty much. Thus, I have lost faith in humanity. Oh no, guys, I took 500 damage. Although I will say that can add up in a long fight. That can add up and it can lose you a turn. And the Angsty E doesn't do that either, right? Doesn't take health away from you, works on your normal attacks, gives you pierce and vulnerability, and is just... It is good, right? It is really good. The only time the Angsty E just does not really work is if you have to have starting NP, or if they're like immune to debuffs. Like if they have like constant debuff immunity, then you're gonna have a bad time. But other than that, it's pretty much good to go. Wow. What the fuck? I like how over the first 2 turns, we got absolutely nothing done in terms of NP gain, which is like, because I got 2 Buster cards, right? Like, that was pretty shit. Gotta wait 1 turn to use Guts. Man, that sucked. Like, that super sucked. If I don't get my MP here, I'm gonna be mad. I was just, if she's triple bustered, I was just gonna lose it. I'm gonna use the attack up later. I would be lower on health. I think I use it on the next NP. I'm gonna not use the evade. I'm gonna let her, like, you know, smack me here. We're gonna try to make the next NP super big. Wait, till the... I'd have to get my next NP really fast. I think I can do it. Yeah, that's enough. She just guarded the defense down, which sucks because the next NP would benefit from it, and then we'd really be doing more damage, so that was kind of disappointing. Okay, so if I want to go ham here, so she's gonna do a really high hit count on me, and Crystal with I can actually say that. The Crystal Clarence, thank you for the see that still though, capitalize your fucking names. What? I don't understand. Why does everyone do this? Why? This has got to be a conspiracy. Like, it's not even hard. It's not even hard. And if you forgot, you get to change your name every few months. I don't understand. Don't wanna. Anyway, let's see. So she's gonna give me about 40 NP, I think, off of being attacked, at least. So I don't need that much. So I can go for some normal card damage here. If I take that 40%, nah, we'll do this. I should get my NP here. This is a little greedy, but it should be fine. Like, our hit count's pretty damn high. Yeah, we should be good. I see someone in chat right now that's got a double word name and it's there's no capital. There's so many of these fucks, man. Alright, here we go. Now we got all of our buffs. We got low on HP. We're all lined up here. Let's see how good. I swear I'm gonna lose though because, well, I probably won't, but I might lose just because I'm being so bad with like my value. I'm trying to. Man, we could still have that defense down. I'm so pissed that didn't work. That'd have been awesome. We done double attack up and then defense down. 200,000? Damn. Man, if that was if we were counterclassing, we would have over 400,000 there. By the way, that's why if Guadia, if Ku was like a rider, he would kill Guadia so fast, right? Because not only would you do that, but you get the bond bonus. So I swear, if Ku was a rider, like it would just be over, or assassin or whatever, it'd be over so fast. We actually might lose though, because this is a misplay I have made a few times, and it's because you don't normally use default on Ku. If you're going to do protection from arrows into regular evade, you should always do the regular evade first. Like always. There's no reason not to. Because if you do the regular evade, it's just going to be the one turn, you're not going to get like the overlap, right? And then once you're out of gas, once you're out of survivability, then you don't mind it lingering, right? Like, well, you might as well have it linger if they didn't attack, right? So I've done this a couple of times before. You always do this one first. There's no reason not to. Now, I'm decently likely to live because I still have 6,700 health, although I'm going to take 500 damage, and I still have defense up, and one of her attacks doesn't work, and she could obviously buff. But if she crits or something, like, that was needlessly risky. I would have won no matter what if I had not done it that way. So now there's like a chance of failure. So that was a fuck up. I should play more meta though, because I do think if I play meta, or we might just win right here. No, but if you play meta, I do like right now. Black Grail is not really doing that great. I like how she busted. She double busted. I cannot believe I just fucking lost with Black Grail of all things. But I was obviously playing very badly there. Okay, let's try that again with Black Grail and play for real, and because I want to compare it to some other stuff. But yeah, we kind of threw there. The thing is, what's kind of scary about that, although I did throw and I wasn't taking the fight too seriously, the other setup did not. We had loads of survivability left, so I needed to actually really take this seriously and see how it compares. Because well, the thing is, ultimately, you don't bring this. It's not Black Grail. There's no reason to bring default. Like, it's fun to try to win way faster and LOL damage, but even if you're using Black Grail, you should use this anyway, because it's just so much more survivability. That was the main reason, actually, for that going south. But I'm pretty confident you can win with default without too much fuss if you just play well. But I'll do Atlas, see how it compares, and then maybe I'll try it again with default and see. Because you could win a lot faster, I think. Yeah, guys, Ku needs another buff, obviously. That literally, it is capitalized. You are correct. I'm telling you, me complaining about this so much has absolutely made people use their at least 100%. At least one or two people in the last 2 days have used their name change. There's no like. Kurt Jing Hilmer. It's not even close. What is that? I swear, please tell me this is like another language, because I don't fucking even. That's not a word! Looking Glass with the resub for 32 months, I appreciate it. Also not capital, but at least I can pronounce the damn thing. Yeah, you can name change. Like it's either every 3 months or every 6 months. I don't know why I'm telling people this. I do not know why I'm telling people this, but anyway. Oh yeah, another reason we did really bad is we got no cards, but like Kook should be able to win even if you get 0 cards in the first 2 hands, so that was not really a factor there. It's a fruit? I didn't even know that. Maybe I just don't remember how it's spelled, and I do know of it, but off the top of my head I have no idea what that is, which is weird because I'm big on like fruits and vegetables, right? So maybe I'm just drawing a blank here. Okay, see, now we're getting hands. Like this is the good stuff. I'm gonna have nightmares over this shit. It was messed up because of the sleep apnea. I have dreams all the time now. For like 95% of my life, I don't remember any of my dreams. And if you get like really good deep sleep, that's That's very common to not remember your dreams. But if you're frequently waking up in REM cycle, you're not completing it, you will pretty much always remember your dreams. And because I'm, really dealing with the sleep apnea problems, I'm having so many dumbass dreams. I hate it. I hate it so much. It's like, I wake up and I'm just like, what was that? Like, it's just dumb, right? Because, like, I don't like, stories and movies and stuff that are just like random, WTF nonsense. Like, I don't care for that stuff. And so having dumbass dreams every night, I'm just like, okay, this needs, that's like my biggest motivation to once like COVID and everything's over to make sure I see a specialist and get this sorted, because I don't want any more dumb dreams. Like, it's not even weird. They're just stuff, and it's just illogical nonsense. I'm like, okay, you can tell your brain is like trying to reorder the cabinet file, right? It's pretty dumb. What are we doing here? Don't have my NP, so I guess I use guts. Nah, I should probably still use guts now. Funky turn. Yeah, because of sleep apnea, I'm basically always exhausted, and so yeah, I'm not going to sleep well rested at all. Like, not even in I have not felt well rested in a very long time. Dude, I cannot wait to be able to hopefully get this under control. Just your overall like feeling throughout the day and stuff is just crap, right? So I cannot wait to get back to normal. So I'm just hoping I don't need like surgery or anything crazy like that, because some people do, and it sounds like hell. So I'm not looking forward to that if I have to do it. Because some people, like, there's just like, you need to like, there's like problems in your sinuses that you need to have surgery to fix and things like that, or you might have a blockage somewhere in your breathing pathway. There's all kinds of reasons sometimes people need to have surgery, but I'm really hoping that's not the case. Yeah, sleep apnea is very serious, but thankfully the only reason I'm not for like the first, like, when it really was a problem for like a month or a half, it was really bad for me, and I was, even with COVID going, I was about to try to do what I could, like, to see a specialist. So it's so hard to see a specialist in my city right now. And actually, when I was first having problems, you couldn't. Like, there was just no way. The only reason I'm like not jumping out windows to see a specialist right now is because I have found things I can do, and I've seen a regular doctor, and they can only do so much, though. You kind of have to see a specialist to get the more serious stuff. But I have medicine and other things that help me deal with the symptoms. It doesn't fix it, right? My sleep apnea is not being fixed at all. But like, for a while there, it was really bad how much it was messing with my sleep. I mean, I was just fucked. But now I can at least get some degree of sleep. I don't feel great. I don't wake up feeling like a, spring chicken or anything, but I can deal with the symptoms well enough right now that I can kind of, I don't have to rush. I can take my text. I'm hoping to, for like, vaccines to be available. That would be nice. But yeah, it's gonna be a whole ordeal, because it's not an easy thing to get. It's really hard to get diagnosed. And what, like, my doctor told me was, mine is probably from allergies, which does not surprise me in the slightest. Everything points to it being because of my allergies. And it's very hard to get it diagnosed if it's from your allergies. Because, like, if you go get a sleep study done or whatever, your allergies might not actually be kicking in, right? And, like, so there's just, it can be very difficult to get the help that you need, because it's hard for them to detect the problem that you have if it's from allergies. So that's, I am worried I'm going to be running around in circles for a long time until I can get it sorted, but we'll find out. Alright, do I want guts this turn? Yeah, there's really no reason not to just use guts. I mean, because the NP's going to one-shot me anyway, so... if we do this. Right now in the US, you have to be like a senior or an essential worker and things like that, so it might be a while before we can get any solo scene. I guess I heal like now. Well, it's debatable because I'm gonna use my. Yeah, now I shouldn't have healed because I can use my attack up again next turn. And the fight's not gonna go on long enough that I would need to. I wouldn't die to my Black Rail anyway. But yeah, getting major sleep apnea problems that like aren't temporary, right as you know COVID is a thing, not the best combo. So yeah, we're doing way better this time, but a lot of that is just because of the Mystic Code, not so much the way we played. Although I did play better, and I did also get better hands and that. But look, we still have Guts, then we have Invulnerability, and then Protection from Arrows comes back, and then we get to attack again, right? So it's like we're so far ahead this time. I think we win this turn. Yeah, she has defense down, we have attack up. She's pretty screwed. 28k, dude. Alright, before we move on, any other units chat really wants to see here? Because we do need to murder this boss and you know, progress with Lostbelt 5. Gwaine, that's not a bad pick. Virgil should be able to do it, I would think. I wouldn't mind showing him off. Okay, so I like Virgil, I like Gwaine. I think did we already do Akita? I'm not sure. If someone has a good Lubu, I'd actually love to try it just because I don't know how that would go. I don't think he would work, but if someone's got a good Lubu, I would actually be really interested to see how that works. Wonder Twins would win easy. It's not a big deal. We already did potato chips. We already did that one. As I always say, chat, the best thing you gotta do, instead of just throwing random names out, is you need to... I swear I need to put this like in my title from now on. It's like... You need to have the unit, right? It's like, hey, I have Rama, can you try Rama, right? Because otherwise people are just throwing out names that we have absolutely no ability to try, right? Well, I want to try Gwaine. That was like one of the first ones, and I think that's fun. I gotta switch to my ult here real quick and slot him. I want to say we did Gwaine way back in the day. And he probably works if you figure it out right. It probably takes a minute to kind of figure out the turn order. Because Gwaine has a little bit of nuance to him, I have to say. But he can probably do it. Probably cutting. I do think it's cutting it close though. Because you know he's AoE, blah blah blah. Meanwhile, 1 to 3 stars still don't have like any, you know, single target quick caster in FP, and we don't have a Buster single target archer, which I think that's crazy that there's no Buster single target archer for 1 to 3 star. Alright, what to give Gwaine here? Let me think. It's pretty straightforward value in terms of what he wants. I might give him the anti-defense thing just because... as you see, she does not cast it often, but if she does cast it, it is super, super bad. I have not used Gwaine enough recently since they added the Star Absorb crit up command code to figure out like if that's meta for him. If you do like Star Bomb on one card and then Star Absorb on the other, like I don't know if you just go all damage. I haven't really figured out. So because this is only one health bar, not multiple health bars, I think we just go for the one big turn and we don't worry about that too much. Trying to figure out who has all the command codes that I want. Somebody else has the big crit one. I'm trying to figure out who the hell would have that because it's none of the usual suspects. What the hell? Who would I give that to? Dark Knight's music, by the way. Do something with Jason. We could try, but maybe we do a different stage with him later, because there's no way he's beating this one. He's AoE, he's a 1-star, and like Spartacus is AoE and a 1-star, but Spartacus is abnormally good for a 1-star, we'll say. Although he was really pushing it because a lot working against him there. I cannot wait to show everyone that solo. I was really happy with it because it was for a while there I could only beat it if I got lucky, and I just could not find like the value that I wanted. And after lots of trial and error, I figured it out. Yeah, I didn't think Spartacus was going to be able to do it because he's not getting the counterclass damage and he is AoE. And 1-star stats suck. I'm trying to I don't know if there's many, if any. He might be the only one. Actually, he probably is the only 1-star in the game that can do that. Hell, he might be one of the only bronzes that can do that. I'm trying to think, what's another bronze that might be able to do that? Maybe Paris. Yeah, maybe Kojiro. Maybe Kojiro. If Kojiro's upgraded, and you might need some luck, you're probably gonna need some good luck, but Kojiro might be able to do it because his whole crit loop is pretty wild. But yeah, I do not think Kojiro could do it as reliably as Spartacus. Like if you were playing them both over and over and over again, and like counting up the wins versus attempts, I think Spartacus would definitely be ahead. Charlotte, if she can land the insta-death, so yeah, like 1 in 900 attempts. Basically. Really good ratio on that one. And although Spartacus benefited from Luvia not counterclassing him, he lost so much from not counterclassing her like a Berserker normally would, so it was pretty rough. Now, I will say, a lot of low stars could probably do it if they used the Yang CE. Like, if Spartacus had used the Yang CE, it'd have been pretty easy, but I specifically wanted to do it without anything crazy broken like that, so we just used Art of Death. Which I'm not actually 100% sure Art of Death ended up being the best, but it did do very well. Okay, let's give Gwaine, I guess, just the Merlin thing on his art. It's probably not even gonna matter because I don't think he's gonna really use his art, but like on those early turns, of course someone else has the Merlin thing equipped. I thought I unequipped like every command code ever there, but apparently not. I wish there was just an unequip all button. That would actually help. Yeah, I tell you, if you want like the best CE in the game, just save up for when it comes back on the rerun. Like, I'm all like, oh, I don't want to use it in videos too much because it's OP, especially in like team play. But I still want it because it's just that crazy. Okay, what CE for Gwaine? I mean, Golden Sumo is the baseline, not necessarily the best for him though. Like Gwaine works really well with things like Victor from the Moon or another Victor or whatever the fuck, the Buster one, right? And then that one CE that cannot be named. Although the old account doesn't have it high enough level for that to be viable. I guess just Guts then. Normally his go-to. Okay, there we go. That took forever. Definitely Anniversary Blonde. We're going super short term here. We're going all short term nonsense. Even for Gwaine though, I tell you, a lot of time, just like with Canis, a lot of times Atlas is best, and it's because you get to use that massive buster up and attack up and all that good stuff twice, right? So even if you don't crit as much, a lot of times it ends up being better. Now it depends on the fight. Some fights don't allow you to go that long, but I'm sure Zaw will agree with me. Like, and I would say in more fights than not, Atlas has ultimately been better than Anniversary Blonde for Canis. But there are fights where there's just, you're not going to get like the survivability for the fight to go on long enough for Atlas to add up. Because Canis isn't like Ku. She doesn't have like so many turns of guaranteed survival. And so yeah, like in this fight, Canis was better with Anniversary Blonde, definitely. And I'm assuming Gwaine is going to be the same way. Oh my god, let's see. Do I use my third skill right away? How many turns are we going to go here? So we've got 2 turns of survival whenever I want it. I think and then 2 turns from my taunts dying, at least 1 turn from my, it'd be cutting it close. I don't think I'd do it because I feel like it's not worth it, and I might want the stars. from his third skill like sooner. So terrible opening hand, but yeah, Gwen doesn't need an NP buff. He's doing great as is. He's a very good 4-star. Bit skill rank dependent. He's definitely one kind of like that, but he's not like super skill rank dependent. You can certainly do well at like 666 and stuff like that, but to really get enough gorilla damage going, you do need to have his skills up. But yeah, that buff they gave him was massive. Like, it was just massive buff. Now, I'll say this. It's only a massive buff when you're not on a sun stage, right? Like, on this stage, we would have gotten our sun buff anyway. So, it was actually pretty minor buff in that case. Like for real, on this stage, we've barely been buffed. We've only got a slight attack, you know, increase for those 3 turns. But, you know, it adds up, but it's not that big of a deal. But the thing is, Gwen is so good when he does have the sun buff. The fact that he can have it on any stage now, it's like, yeah, he's pretty good. I don't think it would be a crime, though, if he did buff his NP, because his NP can't crit. And that's where Gwen gets most of his damage, is attack buff, buster buff, crit, right? That's where, and the fact that if his NP can't crit, it doing like, you know, an extra 20% damage or whatever, that's not really that big of a deal. Now, a buff that I do think would be stupid would be if they buffed his NP and they gave it another secondary effect that was pretty strong. That I don't think is right. Like, when you compare Gwen to the other 4-star sabers, I mean, he's looking really damn good now. So there's just no need for that kind of thing. But a generic NP buff, I think, would be fine. And it might be more fun that way. But you know, yeah, that attack up, it's not just like a few percent. It's like it applies to all your cards, your extra attack for 3 turns. So in total, it's a, you know, it's a chunk of extra damage. But yeah, it's not like some revolutionary. Do I use my buffs right now? Because I got a Buster Chain. I feel like if I use them right now, I might not actually have them for when I NP. I'm gonna not do it just because even if it was better, I don't really want the extra value, because you're never gonna guarantee that you might get, it's not rare to get a Brave Chain on this hand, which you may not believe me when I say that on this channel, considering how rarely we get Brave Chains when Taunta's alive, but mathematically the odds of this happening are actually, you know, it's not, getting 3 cards is a 50-50 for either unit, right? And at least getting 2 cards, and it's even more than that for the 1 unit you care about, so. But still, likely they wouldn't be all Buster. It might not be rare to get 3 Gwen cards, but getting specifically his Busters is pretty rare, so I'm just gonna not use my buffs here. I actually do think that, like, Aussie and Quetz should apply Sun when they do their Charisma. And yeah, that would basically not matter ever, except for if they're working with Gwen. But, you know, just for flavor, it's so easy to implement stuff like that, right? There's certain changes like that that it annoys me that they don't do, because it takes no work, and it's not something you have to worry about. Sometimes you don't want to, like, randomly buff a unit out of nowhere if you don't, like, stop and think about it. But, like, having Quetz and Aussie apply Sun is not something that's going to break the game in any way. That's a, you know, it's a pretty small thing, but it's really nice flavor. And there's a lot of stuff like that in this game that I wish they would do. But unfortunately, this game does not apply, you know, changes in design retroactively. Worth a damn. They just apply it to new units that they make, so feels bad. Okay, we don't want to go for like a big crit turn just yet, but we do need to within 3 turns. This has no crit chance, but it's my hardest hitting one. But the other ones have decent crit chances, so we'll do this. Well, I should have swapped the first and second there, but there's no way to know. Okay, I should be able to go boom next turn. Man, I'd love if that back one crit, because it's got the faux paws and everything. Nope. I tell you though, hitting for 22k at neutral is pretty nice. Alright, I really need to NP here. Luvia, don't, Okay. So her not popping guts means I can't use my 3rd skill. At least I got my NP, but like if she'd pop my guts, I could use my 3rd skill to make more stars, right? Like that's not really as good as you might think, because now we're kind of pushing it on actually critting. Ugh. Well, we only need 2 Buster cards because one's the NP. That's kind of annoying, to be honest. We'll still do pretty good damage, but it's only one crit really. Now let me think. I should not, now that like either guts doesn't really matter, I should use my third skill whenever. Okay, just crit anyway with the 40%. I'll take it. Okay, now we're looking good that guts didn't go off. Now we just get a free turn out of it. Easy. D-Fang, any chance you have a grailed Lu Bu on JP? Because people wanted to see Lu Bu here. So well, I made an okay amount of stars. Here's the thing, if I do the 4,000 health guts, she might actually hit me enough next turn to hit me more than once and actually get my MP back. But I do think we do our third skill just because we got kind of lucky with the crit spread. So we might squeeze out a random crit here. It's not that unlikely. But yeah, 30, 40, 60. It's pretty good. Jeez. What? Wayne, what are you doing? Now this just feels like we're cheating. I do feel like we would have won anyway because this next turn we would I think we absolutely would have won anyway because next turn we would get our skills back and our NP. So our next turn would be big. Like we're gonna win this turn with overkill and we would still be alive because we still have guts. And then that next turn would be massive overkill. So honestly, he won with quite a so if that one turn where she had almost killed us, but she didn't. But if she had killed us, this would be a little bit closer. Where we wouldn't have like this massive amount of wiggle room. But he definitely had this. Like he won pretty easy. Alright, we'll just reset the app. He's clearly won. He has guts. He'll win this turn easy, and then he gets his skills next turn. So yeah, he definitely won that. But yeah, we did not need that bullshit, all those extra crits there. Like, we would have won anyway. It would have been, you know, closer. What CE? That's a good question, D-Fang. Do you have a really high level Art of Death? If you have a really high level Art of Death, I would think that. You know, when in doubt though, like starting NP, like, you know, Buster up to like Aerial Drive or something. Here, let me add D-Fang on this account. I certainly don't have him over here. Make sure you add me too, because we have to like both add each other. It makes it much easier. So if you've got, D-Fang, if you've got a really high level, D-Fang with rights, yeah. If you have a really high level Art of Death, or like Victor, for another Victor or whatever, you know, the crit up, Buster up one, if one of those is like really high level, go with one of those. Or I have to say the CE name because D-Fang won't know what I'm talking about if I don't say it. But I can't say it. But yeah, if you don't have one of those at really high level, then just go with like Aerial Drive or Golden Sumo or something like that, right? Like just the starting NP side thing. Like ultimately, high level CE is going to be more important than like starting NP or no starting NP. Look, man, I'm trying to save the guy money, right? I don't want to scam the guy here. Oh, do you need to see my code again? I don't know if I kept it on screen long enough for you to actually add me. There we go. Alright, that's a Lu Bu right there. Can we get an NP buff for Lu Bu, by the way? Now, for him, I'm pretty sure we want to go Anniversary Blonde. There's no way he's gonna, like, go around... Oh, do you have any command codes, by the way? If you could just slap, like, some kind of... They don't have to be, like, the best ever. But if you can slap, you know, some kind of, you know... if you got the Kiara one, that's really good. But just, if you got something you can slap on him. I know this because I use Mori all the time, and I use Lu Bu a lot. Mori is not just an upgraded Lu Bu. I do think Mori is better overall, but there absolutely are situations where Lu Bu is better, because Lu Bu is a lot better in the short term, with just like NP nuking, like quite a bit, honestly. And like in some setups, you know, here's the thing about Mori. To really get that value out of Mori, to make Mori do stuff that really eclipses Lu Bu, you need the entire team babysitting Mori, because Mori just explodes. Because not only is he a berserker with no defensives, he puts defense down on himself in a massive amount. So somebody, you know, hits him with their pinky and he explodes, right? Where Lu Bu is the opposite, where he actually has a defense up. And yeah, Lu Bu still dies pretty quick, but absolutely is it easier to keep Lu Bu alive. And so I found this many times, if you just need like, Lu Bu is just one part of the team, or the berserker is just one part of the team, and you need like other things going on, Lu Bu is always better than Mori. Mori is not a unit you can just slap on the team to like, oh, break that one health bar. Like, it doesn't work that way, right? He needs a team very much dedicated to what he does. Now, if you make a team dedicated to Lu Bu, or you make a team dedicated to Mori, Mori is almost always better, right? But in a lot of other situations, he really isn't, just because he requires a lot more hand-holding, and his, you know, out-of-the-box NP damage is noticeably lower. It really is. I mean, I wouldn't say Lu Bu is necessarily more practical. They both can be practical. It's just kind of apples and oranges. I think Mori, for most players, will be better more times than Lu Bu. But especially for newer accounts and for certain style of setup, I do think Lu Bu is better. But I would definitely prefer it if they gave Lu Bu, I guess that's all we're getting. I would prefer it if they gave Lu Bu an upgraded NP anyway, just so he's really ahead in the NP department. Mori should be ahead in the normal card department. Like, his entire toolkit is one, very risky, and is all dedicated to his normal card damage, right? So Mori should be all about the normal card damage crit nonsense with like some NP damage on the side. And then Lu Bu should be the other way around, where he should be about the NP damage with normal card damage on the side. Because Lu Bu does have normal card stuff with his attack up and his star absorb, but he doesn't have like a crit up and, you know, like, you know, the defense down getting more attack up and all that nonsense, right? So, yeah, that's a really good way to balance them against each other, you know. Oh, hey, now that's an opening hand I can get behind. He's gonna need the help anyway. I don't think Lu Bu's gonna shame himself, but I'd be surprised if he survives this. He just doesn't have, like, you know, not getting the Berserker bonus damage is really bad for him. For some Berserkers it works out. Like, Tamcat's actually happy with the way this fight works, but Lu Bu's really not that kind of unit. He's not gonna live long anyway. He might get his health bar one turn. Like, it's very likely Lu Bu will get his health bar one turn one way or the other, and so you might as well be doing way more damage with that time, right? Like, that's way better. Almost want to attack buff right now. This is a long shot defang, but is there any chance you've got the Aya command code? Because it does, you get more crit damage and it removes defense buffs, and yeah, this defense buff is gonna completely destroy us. At least our MP won't care about it, but our normal cards will, and wow, you could see that, like how much it takes off there. Okay, well, it's NP time. But yeah, his NP does have armor ignore, so that's quite nice. Ugh, this crit spread though. I can actually re-roll, which I'm actually happy about because the art card got 100%. Okay, I'm gonna try to not use guts this turn because I feel like with my defense buff I should theoretically be able to survive one turn. That sound effect, dude. Thankfully we got this badass animation update though. Red hair alter. Damn though. That's what I'm talking about. That's with a non-upgraded NP, by the way. Damn it. I would have loved that 50% crit, man. That would really help deal with the defensive thing. I'm so glad they gave him his old NP, essentially, as his extra attack. Because his old MP was actually supposed to represent the bow shot, they just were really lazy about it. But wow, we didn't get one turn. So this is what I'm talking about. We're just so inferior to our normal Berserker self. We would have actually won that turn, by the way. Actually, I think he can beat this. I think it'll be close, but I think we might be able to beat this. We just need to not get one turned like that. But yeah, if he was his regular Berserker self, he could win this very easy. But that's the difficulty of this fight, you know, ain't nobody getting to do counterclass nonsense. But yeah, Berserkers, it's rough when they're in this context. Some Berserkers, like I said, though, are happy about it, but you need a pretty specific kind. Most Berserkers just don't have toolkits aimed at that kind of thing. And they gave Luvia so much normal card damage that the fact that, like, they did this on purpose. The fact that you're not being counterclassed isn't that relevant because Luvia is basically counterclassing you with how much normal card damage they gave her. There's a few things where Asterios and Lubu are similar, but overall they're not really that similar. Because, you know, on the Asterios' normal card stuff, which honestly, Asterios can throw out some big crits. He really can. Like, holy shit, especially if he's grailed and stuff. But that's his side thing. It's very much a side thing. You know, he's not a damage dealer. He's a utility guy. But that's like, I enjoy that. When you get like 100 Asterios, you're doing his typical NP stuff. But then on the side, when you see like the right turn, you know, you can use the Star Absorb thing and his attack up and just, you know, punch somebody like crazy. Dude, I'm telling you, people that got 100 Asterios know what I'm talking about. It's awesome, right? Because if you're using Asterios at level 60, you don't get access to any of that. He just doesn't have enough health and stuff to survive that long, and you don't have enough damage to care. But 100 Asterios, man, they got a side dish of ass whooping. It's pretty great. I really, Asterios at 100 is such a fun unit to play. He is quite good. We should try Asterios here though, just because she does have such a high hit count. Asterios can work though against low hit count stuff. It's just you use them in a more burst function, right? You slap K-scope on them or whatever, and someone on your team has battery, and you just show up, you know, use his NP to block their NP, and that's that. And that can be great because some boss fights they remove your buffs, but they can't remove their debuffs, right? So there's plenty of room for Asterios against low hit count stuff, but it has to be a lot more, you know, tailored and, you know, kind of, you have to be a lot more careful with your team setup. And what I really like about Asterios, I love this about Asterios, especially level 100 Asterios. If you have another unit on the team, like Billy or something, that wants to crit, but they don't have a Star Absorb skill, Asterios is like this passive that just always gives them crits, because Asterios has like no Star Absorb without his skill up. And his skill up is optional. You can just not cast it. It's not a big deal if you don't cast it, right? It's not tied to something you really care about. So, he makes it so easy for another unit to consistently crit. And then when that unit doesn't have cards, or their crit skills are gone, or whatever, right? Then you use Asterios' Star Absorb skill, and now he crits. It's honestly pretty smooth, and I've seen some fights where it's really good. So yeah, it's a nice option to have, especially because, you know, he's a 1-star that anybody can have. Of course, he's not as good as like God Juna or something, but you know, most things are not. Okay, we didn't get our NP, so that's kind of rough. Please don't kill me. Oh god, we're fucked. We're so, yeah, you've got to get your NP on turn 1. You've got to get your NP on turn 1. Which we're actually pretty likely to do with the starting NP, but yeah, if you don't, then you're gonna have to, you know, play 50-50 with getting your buffs. And you could say just don't use the defense up, but oh, you're so gonna die if you don't use the defense up. But yeah, even though I think it is possible for Lubu to do this, I think his win rate would be like 5%. This is a really bad fight for him. There's a whole lot working against him. All right, RNG, let's go. Okay, one more. Easy! Easy! Oh, by the way, another way you can help with this is, with awkward turns like this, is you can put a debuff clear command code on Lubu, and he can clear the block, which is pretty awesome. So you'll slap him like on a buster card or whatever. Unfortunately, Mori can't do that because, the way they made his debuff, unfortunately. 50% worse command code versus a really good command code, but 30%. I think we take the 50. I mean, it's just a coin toss, right? When has a coin toss ever gone bad? Now, stunning right now, Lubu, would be like the shit. That's actually like would be his ticket to winning, is getting a good stun. Nope. She would be dead right now if we got our actual Berserker bonus. But that would also defeat the purpose of the fight, so... Because then she would have more health. That's the thing. If... Really? I forgot... Well, I didn't really forget to cast Guts. I was just hoping the defensive would be enough, or we stunned her. But yeah, then I was going to Guts next turn. We probably would have lost anyway, though. Even if we did get another BBB in there, we were probably still going to lose. But he can get farther. He can get farther than that. Yeah, I thought it was decently likely that we'd either stun her or the defense up would have saved us, but neither of those things happened. Alright, what was another one? Not Virgil, which I'm so confident not Virgil can do this. But, oh look, Defang even has not Virgil, but we'll use Beastlies, because we've been using everybody, you know, when they're really upgraded. Which is, well, other than 5 stars, some of the 5 stars we did it, you know, like Scaff, we did it in P2, level 90, but, you know, she's a 5 star, so it's fine. Then we actually... Here, we'll do Okita. Someone asked for Okita, and we got good old Truck-kun here, who's got the beastliest Okita that ever was, so... What does she want? I'm thinking defaults. So, if she gets lucky-ish, she can win. But she is susceptible, because she doesn't have that much survivability, hard or soft, right? That she is susceptible to just getting one shot. Do like, you know, a buster crit or some nonsense. I do want, you know, this might be boring, but I really want to make sure she gets her NP. And we don't have the better, you know, NP on Death CE, so I think for real though, if this was my main account and I had the better CEs, I don't think I would make that trade. I get burned on this account so much by like, you know, 2 or 3 NP. Okay, now that's a nice hand. Go for the stars. Unfortunately, we're whiffing the battery right there, but, or I'm sorry, the heal, but it's worth overall. Hmm, 60%. I wonder if that 60%, you know what, she could quick charge, or the quick charging is so rare. But I think we use our third skill here, and we're just, I mean, 60% is a rigged coin toss, right? It's literally a rigged coin toss, because, you know, coin toss is supposed to be 50-50, right? And we got 60, so it's rigged in our favor here. Although I'm pretty sure most quarters is not 50-50. There's, because like the weight isn't quite even, it's almost 50-50. It's overwhelmingly almost 50-50, but there's like a slight variance due to like just the way that they're weighted. But I know that that variance is so tiny that it's you're only gonna see it in like, you know, 1,000,000 coin tosses or some crap. 60% Kun would not betray us like that, chat. Wouldn't possibly do that. We're gonna get that crit, and it's all gonna be good, and we're gonna make a lot of stars, and then we're gonna crit again next turn. Like we're doing this. This is the one, chat. Look at that damage. We've eaten her alive. We're gonna crit bonus, attack bonus. It all lines up like with the defense down, easy. Look at that. Like, nothing. No problem. Also, that damage is disgusting, by the way. Man, if she had done more high hit count stuff, we might have been able to loop her in the... yeah, I think Okita's gonna do this in flying colors. It's almost like Okita's like raw value, which is what you can generally test in a solo, is insanely high or something. This is honestly disgusting though. Like, this is really disgusting right here. I've been telling people, me and like Toho Sniper's been saying it too. She may be vanilla, but her toolkit is held up so well, right? Because of her stat line and just how smoothly she loops and stuff, and like how good her, you know, her quick chain is and everything. Like, she's been so good forever. Like, she's always been such a good unit. I think we just win right here. Even without our other buffs, I think we'll kill here. We do short-term damage though. No need for like crits next turn. Even if I don't kill here, her should be so low that I wouldn't need crits. And obviously, this Okita is a, you know, 5-star level 100 MP5, all this nonsense. So it's, you know, it's above the norm. But you can see she's winning so hard that, you know, obviously even without her being that upgraded, she would still win, right? And like, yeah, I you know, it's not, this stage is not that hard to solo if you're a really like strong, you know, high value unit and everything. But again, she's winning with so much more value than what you typically see here. It shows how, you know, good her value is. And her value translates to a team. Everything that like she does good in a solo translates just fine to a team context. You know, some units they have, you know, back and forth where they don't translate well, but she's not one of those. A properly upgraded Zigguard probably could solo this, I would think. Because again, 5 stars, best stats and all that. I've been pushing it a little bit, but it's a pretty short-term oriented fight. You know, unless you're someone like Ku, we can just guarantee that they can't get one-shot by a Buster Crit, you know, and stuff like that. It's a pretty short-term oriented fight, and Zigguard is very much a short-term unit. Like, very much so. So, it's very good for him. I tell you, one of the units that really surprised me, though, was 100 Face, and I know she's great and everything, but, you know, lower stat lines on the lower stars has definitely been noticeable here. And, but 100 Face didn't just win, she won with so much, like, value. That was crazy. And it was really funny comparing her to Izo and just how much better she did. That was wild, dude. Yeah, 100 Face really did impress. I mean, I knew 100 Face was one of the better 3-stars. Like, so I wasn't, like, too shocked that she could do it. I was just shocked that she did so well. And, like, it's because, I'm telling you, it's because her evade is a 5-turn cooldown, right? That's a big part of it, because it means you just get it back with Atlas just in time to, like, you don't have gaps, right? She gets to do, like, evade, you know, invulnerability from the Mystic Code, right? And then she still has enough health to at least take 1 turn, and then evade again, right? And then you're pretty much, like, that's just so much hard survival that you're in good shape. And then I got 1 turn where you have to use her health bar. She has, like, you know, 150% crit down, so you can't die. Like, there's no way, even if she triple busters, you're not gonna die. So, yeah, 100 Face was really fucking good there. And yeah, again, same for Scath. That's why Scath is so good, because Scath's, this is the dream. There are a few units like this, and every single one of them is good for survivability stuff. And then generally, even if their damage is kind of on the meh end, they can live so long that they live long enough to make up for that missing damage. And so it's like Scath, because she's got the, it's having a 5-turn survivability skill like evade or invulnerability, but then having something to offset it. Some other skill to offset it. And like 100 Face has that, because 100 Face has the 5-turn evade, and then the 4K heal. You know, 4K heal's no joke, and that's also on a really short cooldown. So those play off of each other, and then they end up being, like, you know, greater than the sum of their parts. And then Scath has the stun, so that's kind of where she gets that thing to play off the 5-turn. And then Ku has, you know, everything. You know, he has heal, you know, guts, and then he can cast the evade early, so he like it's actually a shorter cooldown the first time, and then you know, it's a very silly thing. But yeah, every time there's a unit that has a 5-turn hard survival, and then something else that buys them survival, they can just, you know, they can go a long time. Okay, let's see if we can get Beastly. I do want to try not Virgil. I think this will be pretty funny with him. I saw Beastly a minute ago. Some people really do think they're gonna buff Ku's third skill at some point, because like, oh, it's so vanilla, guys. You can't have a popular Fates by Night character with such a vanilla skill. But like, I really don't feel like debuff clear is a vanilla skill, because debuffs are such a big deal. There are so many fights with the whole thing that runs you is the debuffs. And I'll say this, if you just have a debuff clear and everything else in your kit is pretty whatever, then that's a problem. Like, yeah, I don't know, Sanson. But if your other skills are amazing and get more value than a typical skill, it doesn't matter if one of your skills is a bit more, you know, vanilla or niche. Because it's true, if the enemy has no debuffs, none, you know, Ku's third skill is not that great, right? It's eh. But his other two skills and his NP and his stat line and everything are so good that you don't really care. I will say this. I would vastly prefer the buff Dyrmid and Baldy and Proto-Ku and stuff like that. But it would be cool if the buffed Ku's third skill was something that made his gameplay really complicated, right? Because Ku is already a unit you have to stop and think, you know? And not the most in the game. There's a few other units where you have to definitely think more about, like when you're soloing, how to plan out your turns and stuff. But Ku's already a pretty fun unit to solo with, and I really enjoy that. You know, having to like think about like what because one thing I like about Ku is like it's not clear what normal cards you should pick, and that's good. And sometimes you want to cast Guts early, sometimes you don't. Sometimes, you know, you actually don't want to cast Protection from Arrows and weird things like that, and that's fun. But if he had some kind of third skill that had one of those really you know, skills that you have to really think about how to get value out of, that would really be fun. I use Ku so much, it'd be nice to have a third skill that made, you know, he already has to think about his normal cards and things like that. Having something else to really mix shit up, especially because he uses Atlas, and you know, have to think about if you want to use it to put it on cooldown and all those things, right? That would be, you know, quite fun. So, but I would vastly prefer they buff the other 3-star Lancers first, for God's sakes. But I would not complain if they gave Ku something really fun to work with. If you wanted to make his third skill lore accurate, it would return his stats to whatever they were on turn 1, because that's literally what it does. So the Grail basically considers, like, you know, the Grail enforces a lot of rules that don't actually exist in like the laws of physics. You know, even in the Nasuverse they don't. But the Grail will like make certain. The Grail basically makes things more video or board gamey. It really does, right? It keeps track of, like, you know, time. And, you know, when the fight started, what the conditions were like and stuff like that. So basically, in Ku's character material, it literally says, like, he has a special condition on his disengage where he returns both people to the way they were basically turn 1, right, at the start of the battle, right? Like the Grail is the one that makes that happen. You know, I go, how does Ku have the ability to change like how his enemy is, like with mana and stuff? The thing is, he doesn't. The Grail does, right? Presumably, they never said that, but that's just what makes sense. You know, if like the opponent started with like higher or lower mana, the Grail would give them the mana. I would presume. Again, it doesn't say that, but I don't know how else the fucking skill would work. But yeah, normally disengage only like gets rid of like it normally only gets rid of like status ailments and stuff. If it's at a high rank, and Ku's isn't at a high rank, but because of his like legend and stuff, he has a specific version of disengage that for him specifically does remove status ailments and that kind of thing, but in a weird way. It doesn't necessarily just remove them, it just returns Ku's condition to how he was at the start of the battle. And then also it does what disengage normally does, which he can basically get out of the fight for free if he wants to. Oh, thank you for the donation. What was that? The same name I can't say, and oh my god, I can't read my own donations. Fuck, I literally couldn't. Dude, I've got to fix my OBS. I can't see my own donations. The text is way too small. But thank you for the $5 donation. I appreciate it. And I'm presuming kind words, but I don't know. It might have been. Yeah, I've got to fix that, dude. I kind of forget I have a donation thing. So every time they pop up, I'm not ready for them. And then I look at my OBS, and the text is just way too small. I couldn't read that at all. And my name is phenomenal, apparently. But yeah, if you want to repeat what you said in chat, I can see it that way. But yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't read that because it was tiny. Hopefully the stream could see it, but I don't see what the stream sees, unfortunately. Guess I'll just do that to be safe. But actually, yeah, I would presumably, like, you know, let's say the fight started and then midway in, the Dea showed up and enhanced coup or something, and then he used disengage. I'm pretty sure he would lose the enhancements, going by what character material says. Yeah, I'll have to look on my my setup and see if I can make the text bigger. I think I can. Dude, honestly, I enjoyed using Alter a lot because she just has pretty unique gameplay, and she's kind of a forgotten servant that still... Sure, she's not the best 4-star in the game, she's not, but I think she still holds up really well. And yeah, I actually really enjoyed doing that. Yeah, we can try Tunican because we're doing a bunch of sabers right now. I swear though, we gotta move on though. We'll do Tunican and then we gotta move on. We've been on Luvia for days. Because, I mean, they think for good reason, though. It's like the best stage ever for compare. It's not about winning or losing necessarily. It's just so easy to compare units. Like, if they have extra survival but less damage, you can see how that's holding up to someone that has more damage but less. Like, you can see that. Like, it's really easy to see, you know, like the straight value with the way this fight is, because all classes are equal here. So, although I do feel like Berserkers are kind of scuffed because they're not supposed to be equal. But yeah, so it's every time and every account we get to this fight, we always stay here for a while. Alrighty, I think we just cast everything. Sadly, we made 0 stars, but it makes me think maybe I should have done that next turn. Like, nah. Yeah, that's gonna be wonky no matter what. 90% crit on that Buster card, though. It's ready to go. Dude, this with both health bars would be awesome because then you'd have to start using the big boy units, right? Because everyone's at neutral, that's the thing. Like, even Orion is going to have to really try to, you know, stack up his damage because the one health, he's going to have to deal with another health bar. Orion would be good for that, though. You'd have to get lucky. Orion basically need everything to line up really well in the first couple of turns and then be able to just blow up the first, you know, health bar and then, you know, still have his guts and stuff and then, you know, build up again and go for the next one, right? Like, which he could do. But yeah, that'd be rough. Remember, dude, they don't do that much anymore. They used to make the anniversary fights, like old fights, but harder, especially the older ones. Like, it was pretty standard for, like, if they brought back a newer fight that was kind of already up to snuff, they wouldn't buff it. But like when you'd bring back, you know, like Gawain and stuff, they'd make it harder. And especially the stuff, you know, before Camelot. And when they brought back Lion King, they even made her harder, not by much. A lot of people didn't realize they made her harder, but they did 2 things that made it a good bit harder. They basically gave her gimmick, because you fight her twice in Camelot. And the first time you fight her, she has a gimmick where she gets a free charisma before the fight starts. And then the second time you fight her, she just has better stats, but she doesn't get that free charisma. And what they basically did in the memorial was they gave her the better stats, and they gave her the free charisma. And I think she actually had better stats than either of the fights actually prior. So she was a little bit harder, but that's a pretty minor change ultimately, right? I gotta say, that did not work out with us not... How did we not loop with Luvia's hit count? What did Luvia do? How did we not... I'm just confused. How did we not loop? It should be so easy for him to loop here. Did she like Buster and cast a skill or something? Like, how on earth did we not loop? I'm so confused. She did triple Buster. So she basically, you missed your art res down. I'm just restarting now. We might still be able to win because he has crit down, which is a huge benefit here, but that's just stupid. We fucking don't land the art resist down, and then she triple Busters, which is like her doing 1 of her other attack, right? Like, seriously, normally I wouldn't care if we didn't land the art resist down because he'd be so set up for success here. Why can I already not summon Beastly? I don't understand. He literally just relogged. I don't understand. I mean, I've been getting Defang non-stop for the last 30 minutes, and he hasn't relogged. And Beastly just relogged, and I cannot get him. Oh, all slot. Excuse me. Why has everybody got to be like this? Like I said, I'm the same way. I put my coup in the all slot instead of Lancer, so I'm sure this has happened for some of my friends as well. Although it's really easy to think of what's in my all slot because everyone knows what my #1 character is. It's kind of hard for me to know who Beastly's absolute favorite is, so. Hold on 1 second. I gotta grab water. I'm like dehydrating here. Alright, I'm back. Sorry that took so long. I had to grab medicine and that kind of nonsense, and then I forgot to get the water, and then I had to go back, and you know, being very meta about these things. Alright, what are we doing here? Alright, let's see. I wonder if I art chain in case my next hand is just garbage. Nah, I have faith. Dude, I do that all the time, Rex, because I'll get up to get water, and then I'm like, oh, I need to do this real quick, I need to do that. And then I'm like, oh wait, I didn't get the water. Yeah, I'm very bad at that. What's really funny is I also needed water to take my medicine, so, you know, very good at this. Oh yeah, we'll have to use Saber Nero's Jason in a minute. I mean, we can use him here if he wants us to, but I think that That's cruel, because he's, you know, 1 star in AoE. Yeah, that Mori comment, I know what he's trying to say, although he's saying it in like the most insane way ever, and it takes a minute to figure out. But I get what he's trying to say. I do. But I do not understand why he hates me so much to be so mad that he likes the same thing that I like, right? I don't. Do I make stars here? I think I make stars here. Because critting next turn is the most important turn to ever crit for him. What are you talking about, Beastly? I'm curious what the context of this was. That sounds like my kind of conversation right there. Jason will die. Yeah, most likely. It'd be funny, lol. Oh, Sitting Master. Yeah, I do have to agree that Sitting Master lives longer than Not Virgil does. He does live longer, and Sitting Master does perfectly good damage and is a perfectly good unit, but Not Virgil does so much more damage. He compensates for the less survivability and then some, and so overall he is generally better. Now that can vary, because some fights it's like you have to have this much survivability or you can't win, because like sometimes the boss has 3 health bars and so you can only win so fast, and then the boss has like an insane amount of damage output, so if you don't have enough survivability to like, you know, give you the turns. So there are times that Sitting Master is better, like it does happen, but generally Not Virgil has enough survivability to get through those kinds of things, because he does at least have an evade and that kind of stuff. But there are some fights where like your damage is capped, right? You can only, because the health bars on the enemy might be kind of small, right? Doing 1,000,000 damage is pretty irrelevant, and what is relevant is doing enough damage, but then also having the most survivability or utility possible. And so in fights like that, Sitting Master can pull ahead, but there's not enough fights like that, so I would say overall Not Virgil is better, but it's not that big of a deal because they're both great, right? Like they both do really well, they both get the job done in a lot of situations, and then Lancelot is so much more team-oriented, he's not even in the conversation. Yeah, it was so much better for me to make those stars last turn, because with that combined with the bomb and then the star absorb on these, that was definitely the right thing to do. But Lancelot is Lancelot is disproportionately weaker in a solo. A lot of units are very, like, if you're testing survivability and damage, that's completely testable in a solo. But the problem with Lancelot is his damage comes from star absorb specifically. So he turns like 15 stars into guaranteed crits because he has so much absorb. He gets past that under the hood, you know, random, you know, star absorb thing that the game has. That if he gets like 2 cards, right, and his teammates gets 3 cards, he will always crit with those 2 cards, right? But that doesn't work in a solo in any way, and so all that amazing like crit engine that he has just goes out the fucking window. And then Lancelot's shtick is no survivability, but all damage, so much looping, so much critting, right? And overall, it's good. I would say Lancelot's an incredibly good 4-star. But if you do need, if you're like, okay, my supports can only do so much, or I don't even have supports or whatever, and you need your DPS to be able to hold their own a bit, Lancelot's not good for that, right? Like, he's not good. But he does in the short term have more damage than both Not Virgil and Sitting Master. Like, he's pretty top tier with the crits go burr. We already used Melt here, and I think she won. Did Chat? Do you remember? I think she won. I'm pretty sure Melt won. But we'll try Jason and just see what happens. And see, where Lancelot can excel is where sometimes you do not need survivability on your DPS because you've got like Castorian Merlin or something, right? You've got whatever the amount of survivability you need to survive the fight that you're in, you've already got it, right? So then you want your DPS to do nothing but damage, loops, crit, stars, right? That's all you care about. And so Lancelot really excels in those kind of situations. But those situations are kind of rare. Most players don't have that kind of support, and then even if you have those kinds of support, some fights are just so fucked that you almost can't have enough survivability. There is a character that they've really implied to be. I think they even used Dante as like a example of what one of these characters is similar to. I forgot his name though. People have brought him up many times, and I do know who it is, and I normally remember the name, but I can't pull it out. Is it Illusion or something? I don't think it's something like that. I don't think that's quite it, but. Enhance, that's who it is, right? I knew it was like a, like a name like that. That was, not a typical name, right? I couldn't remember what it was. Okay, if we land the art resist down, we're looking really good. Thankfully, we got crit down, so I think we'll live here, unless you triple busters. Oh, we could just kill it right now, okay. Alright, we'll do Jason, and then I think we'll move on. So I guess we'll have to do it one more time after Jason, because we'll have... No offense to Jason, but let's be real, he's going to lose. What was that spread indeed? Hey, if Jason wins, I'll make a fucking video out of it, right? Like we do with Spartacus, but, because Spartacus is also a 1-star, and he's also AoE, but he's got, guts and healing and armor ignore, and, there was Buster outright, there was a lot that was kind of in his favor there. Probably more against him, but, kind of a testament to how good Spartacus is. Do I have you added on this account, Saber Nero? Because you have more than one account, and I have more than one account, so it gets very confusing. We'll do Tunican after we do Jason, because I think Tunican might win. Actually no. Not looking at Okita and not Virgil, that makes me think Tunican can't win, actually. We'll see though. So if he wins, we'll just use him to continue on, right? If he fails, then I guess we'll do another one. Okay, you add me too, because if we add each other, then it's like much easier. This music though. Hopefully I had my thing on screen long enough for him to see it. That's Tunican right here at the top. Did you get it, Saber Nero, or do I need to show it again? I was too slow. Okay, let me put it up again. My boy, yep. Dude's got a dream and a bad haircut, man. Raiko's best. Let me put it this way, Rex. Raiko should not switch professions. She should not become a barber. Not work out. Imagine being a heroic spirit summoned into the modern era, and you've got super like skills with you're faster and stronger, and I guess their brains must work faster so they can keep up with their super speed, right? And you can't be a good barber. See, Ku could do it. Ku probably has been a barber, by the way, because he's like, that's his whole shtick is doing like every side job ever. Okay, do we got Saber Nero now? I would hope so. This is why I don't like adding people on stream though, because it takes a million years to actually use anything, and you're just sitting here doing nothing. I find Q pretty funny in that, as a servant, he doesn't actually care about winning the Grail and getting a second life or anything. Like, he thinks, like, he doesn't even, like, respect people that want that. But he's like, well, if I'm gonna have a second life, I might as well, you know, use it well, right? So it's kind of funny the way he approaches that. Generally, Loth is the god of light, not the god of the sun, the god of light specifically. Which obviously is, you know, in many ways associated with the sun, but it's not quite the same. Let's see, how strong is this Jason? Nope, not 2k foed yet. So, yeah, I think any chance he would have, he would definitely need to be 100, 2k foe, you know, faux pause even. Like, we'd really, and even then, maybe, but boy, that'd be rough. I think Spartacus did it at 100 with 1k foe, but that's also Spartacus, so I guess default for Jason. The real question is how far can Jason get? Full power Jasons are very rare, but it's because full power anything is rare, really. Although I will say, Grail Jasons are pretty common, because Jason has become very, very, very popular. And I mean, rightfully so. Actually, full power Jolter is kind of rare these days. And even before she was kind of rare, because she doesn't need it. That's the thing. Most people like her, but then she's not necessarily their absolute favorite. And then she performs well enough that if you're wanting to make Jolter kill things, she doesn't really need that kind of upgrade. So I don't actually see, because a full upgrade of Jolter is like faux pause, 100, 2k foe, and command codes, right? You don't see that often at all. I've seen it. I have seen it, but it's, you know, it's more common than Geronimo. Surely, what a great hand. See, what we need, Saber Nero, is story replay. So if you ever get him, you know, maximumer, then we can, you know, come back and compare. But we, you know, no story replay. Yeah, that's how my Gil account was originally, pretty much. It was just for Gil. The Loth has many legends and many, you know, different exploits, and there's like a million. Dude, oh my god, he has so many, like, legendary items that, like, in their own myths and stuff had, like, special effects and everything, right? So there'd all be noble phantasms, obviously. He would be such a monster. It makes me so mad that they've mentioned him like 3 or 4 times in the Nasuverse. But we're probably never gonna get to see him, which is such a shame. He's such a badass. It's Ku's dad. I mean, come on now. Ideally, I'd want to cast that next turn. We're gonna have to have a turn of tanking with our health bar anyway. I like how I'm at 93%. That's a little bit frustrating. And look at this awesome, this crit spread is so good. If we had had our NP right now, it would have been amazing. That is so unfortunate. His voice actor, dude, fantastic. Don't kill me in one turn. Don't do it. Okay, looking good. Basically, I wanted to remove the defense down and not waste my heal. This music is perfect. This music is fucking perfect for Jason, by the way. It's actually so perfect, I think if I ever make a Jason solo video, I'm using it. Normally I would only use this for Arthur, because it's Arthur's theme, by the way, but This is way too good with Jason. This is Arthur's Excalibur theme. Arthur has already got two themes. He's got his own theme and an Excalibur theme. I'm so glad it's not a fucking remix of Artoria's theme, by the way. And like, same for the opposite, right? I wouldn't want Artoria to have just a remix of Arthur's either, so I'm really glad they both got unique themes. Come on, come on. Damn it. 90%. Well, I might as well evade now because it's not like we're gonna live until the next NP anyway. We might get one more turn out of our normal cards, or normal health if we get lucky here, but not likely. Look at all this overcharge, dude. What a waste. Even with our art up, I think we might do Buster Buster because I think we're gonna die here. I don't think Loft's gonna be in Lostbelt 6 at all. I would be so happy to be wrong about that, but I don't think he's even gonna be there. Well, Jason had a pretty bad time, but honestly, I think basically every 1 to 2 star is gonna have a horrible time here, except for Spartacus and, you know, maybe Paris and Kojiro, but other than that, I think everybody's pretty screwed. But yeah, if he was totally maxed, you'd probably get one more turn out of your health bar, and you'd get a little more damage in, so you get past the halfway point, I think. But yeah, that's rough. I mean, there's going to be at least one night in Lostbelt 6 because of the trailer thing, but yeah, it's going to be a lot of nonsense, I suspect. Okay, Tuna can, and then we pick someone who can win, and just do it one more time. Let's see who's. I think that's Noel is the only real strong Tuna can we got available right now. This isn't really a fair sizing up though, because he's in P2, 6, 10, 10, where every other saber we've been using has been more upgraded than that. But I mean, God, I have no idea what to give him Mystic Code wise. Especially because we're not 10, 10, 10. That always makes Atlas a lot worse. Maybe Anniversary Blonde, because we're probably not gonna live that long, even in the best case scenario. And he does like crits, so. I don't know, default though. That's a tough call. Default might have been best, just because the heal and the evade from him might have been enough to live one extra turn, like than you would expect. We did Choco-Jana last time we did this, and she won. I don't think we've done it since we came back. Maybe we do that for the final one to show these other units what's up, because she's obviously gonna win big time. There is a crit down command code, but you can only apply the crit down if they have a crit up. Like you can't attack with it and apply a crit down. You have to attack with it. They have a crit up. It'll remove their crit up and then apply a crit down, which is really good, but it's, you know, niche. If you could just apply it whenever you wanted, it'd probably be too good, and it would make people that actually have a crit down skill, it wouldn't mean anything anymore. So it's probably best the way they did it. I mean, Rama is still good enough to work, so if you like Rama and you want to kill Lancer Boss, he'll still work, so he's relevant in that sense. But he overall is definitely inferior, and they really should, you know, buff Rama, because it's not like he was amazing to begin with. I mean, he's still fine. You know, he does still get crits, and he does have his anti niche and all that. But yeah, overall, Tunican is better. Pretty much everything in every I can't really think of a context where Rama is better than Tuna. Let's see, what do we want to do here? Not having my NP right now really sucks. It's not a good time to evade. I guess I just face tank this turn, then we do the fancy stuff. Surely we're going to get our NP from her attacking us. Don't kill me. Jeez, double buster, but no crit, thankfully. Alright, here we go. Definitely this. Can I get my NP again here? And then we go... This is weird. I think I saved the Star Bomb. I'm trying to just really... I only got a few turns here, and I gotta get the most out of them. I don't know if he can be summoned as an archer anymore. Now, they might contrive some bullshit reason why he can, but it's just like Tam can't be Amakusa anymore. Not Amakusa. Alright, Terasu, excuse me. As far as I'm aware, because he broke his bow, so he wouldn't be summoned as an archer. He doesn't. I don't think his Saint Graph has an archer version anymore. Now, I know he originally, that's my point, what Rex said. It's like, originally he was an archer, and he could be summoned as an archer, but he broke his bow, so he wouldn't be summoned as an archer anymore, so his odds of running into his wife were higher. So as far, I don't think there's any, like, that's not going to be undone, right? It's not like he's going to fix his bow, so we can summon him, right? I get, that's what they would probably do, though, is make, like, an emergence. They'd probably do, I can think of two things that they would do in the story to make Archer Rama. And that's, like, you run into Rama in the flesh, and he still has his bow, so there's that. Or there's just a circumstance that's so bad that he fixes his bow so he can, you know, be summoned as an archer again because he's needed or something, right? Like, that's the two things I could see them doing. But other than that, there's just no way he's gonna let you summon him as an archer ever. By the way, I'm so confused by the Throne of Heroes because I always imagined, like, they had no consciousness in the Throne of Heroes, but apparently they do, because, like, different servants at different times can, like, tag along with Richard, and it's up to them, and, like, different summons at different times, like, different people just happen to, you know, like, oh yeah, wait up, Richard, I'll come along. And that's like Richard's ability, right? It's like other things in the Throne of Heroes can choose to tag along or not. So they obviously have consciousness still. So I just imagine the Throne of Heroes is like some stupid, like, you know, rave party or something. I don't know what the hell's going on in there, right? Like, as they've described it more recently, it's not what I had originally envisioned it being at all. So. Alright, let's see now. We did not loop our NP. That's kind of frustrating. So I have Buster up for one more turn, so I guess I do a Buster chain. Man, that means I shouldn't even done the art cards, because I think I could have done more damage than gotten my NP now. I think I've got my NP in the same time, and I'm just ultimately doing less damage, so that's kind of annoying. I'll make stars, though. Our next turn should be pretty big. Honestly, if he's upgraded like the other sabers we were using, I think he might be able to do this. I'm not sure. It depends on how far we get here. Yeah, ball, I gotta be nice. I mean, I'm assuming they're more like this spirit form in the Throne of Heroes, right? So they, you know, they may be able to make. I think they can like maybe can adjust their Saint graphs and things like that. Like, you know, Rama breaking his bow and all this stuff, but I wouldn't imagine they're like active in their bodies or anything like that. I wouldn't think so, but I don't think they're ever going to explain, right? It's supposed to be otherworldly and unknown and, you know, different dimension or some bullshit, right? Didn't really get good value out of Anniversary Blonde. Because we could have crit there anyway. I think default would have been better, and I could potentially live another turn and pretty much gotten the exact same damage. Yeah, I think he could do this if he was upgraded all the way, like not Virgil was and stuff. Because we're not that far off. And we didn't even use the right Mystic Code, I don't think. So, yeah, he can do this. I didn't think he would, but yeah, I think it's in his range. Yeah, I mean, come on, look, we're really not that far off. I mean, I think we could actually do it with this tuna can if we got a little lucky and I picked the right Mystic Code. Because yeah, we're really not far off at all. Because yeah, he's you know 90, not max skills yet, NV2. So yeah, if he could do it. I've seen a few episodes of Death Parade. I haven't seen the whole thing, but I've seen some of it. It was pretty enjoyable though. It was something different, and you know, it was kind of, you know, it was like a kind of a character study, I suppose. Man, he's so asking for it from Fujino because Fujino, you know, is an archer and she has buff block, like the way her kit is. And she has sure hit for his evade, and he has sure hit, but she doesn't have evade. She has guts and damage cut. So it's like big counter there. All right, let's get Choco Jana in here. I'm very even though she's AoE, I'm still very confident in her ability to win this. As long as I don't misplay. She is kind of complicated. You always have to make that decision to either go down to 0, then heal back up, or use the invulnerability early, right? Like, there's a lot of ways to play her, and it can be a bit confusing sometimes. But that makes her fun. She's certainly not a boring unit to play. Like, if you're doing a fight over and over, trying to min-max and, you know, kind of... Like, when I was playing Spartacus earlier, I was really trying out a lot of different strategies and setups and card orders and stuff to figure out what was, you know, best the most often. And that was quite fun, and she can really have a lot of fun in those kind of situations, because there's a lot to tinker with. He fights on bridges, she destroys bridges. See, I feel like, because Saber Nero from our chat is a big Devil May Cry fan, I mean, and rightfully so, and who's not? Literally, who hates Devil May Cry, by the way? I guess somebody does, but... Anyway, you can just see his name that way, right? It's Nero from Devil May Cry as his Saber, see? That's how it works. This music works really well for Luvia, by the way. No, Spartacus versus Luvia was not harder than Phantom versus Red Hair, but it was better because, like, I did legit have to min-max Phantom like no one's business, and I had to figure out every single turn what was the absolute most meta like card combo you could ever do, and where's the RNG going to go most of the time, and like I don't think I've ever had to min-max something that much. But there was also a degree, not loads, but there was enough RNG in it for it to be kind of bullshit and just dumb and annoying, and where Spartacus was like way more, you had to really figure it out, but then once you figured it out, it was like, okay, I got it now, right? Okay. We don't need that Merlin card, but I think we take the chain anyway. I think we make stars? I think I tank her NP with my guts, and so I don't invulnerability. Hopefully I am not shaming myself here, but I feel like because her NP's coming up kind of soon, that's the way. That means we just need to not die until then. Shouldn't I cast Guts last turn then, though? I feel like I should have cast Guts last turn. Definitely NP. Get rid of that crit buff. Get that shit out of here. Oh man, Beastly's starting to give her faux pause. I have never hated Nero, by the way. I remember Nero was super unpopular. Although I'm telling you, what really turned Nero around was the DMC remake. That everyone was like, I take it back, he's not so bad. That was like everyone ever. But I've never disliked Nero. I just was always like, I wish he had. I never even hated his gameplay, even if I remember a lot of people like, oh, his gameplay's too simplistic. I was like, no, the whole rev mechanic and stuff is pretty fun and stuff. I've always liked Nero, but I've always been like, yeah, he, he's mechanically wasn't quite where I wanted him to be. And but I never minded his character. It wasn't my favorite, but I literally never minded Nero, and I never understood the fans. They're like, oh, I want Dante, because Dante was still in the game, right? So no big deal, right? So I never understood the Nero hate, but he was never my favorite. But then they developed his character a lot in 5, and then they completely fixed his gameplay. I think they turned Nero into like, hey, this is pretty good, but it could be better, into, oh my god, this is so much fun. They made Nero so much fun in DMC 5. That was crazy. But yeah, I remember when the DMC reboot happened, everyone was just like, I take it back. Can we have Nero back, please? Like, dear God, please. Like, all the people that didn't really like how he was kind of the younger, rash, blah, 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 we're just like, never mind. Just like, never mind. He's fine. This is fine. Okay, so this turn sucks because she'll... I mean, I guess if she... Do we have the heal command code? We do, but I already used it. I'm an idiot. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. If I hadn't used the heal command code, I could do the heal boost and double heal, and then I probably wouldn't die to normal card here. Like, if she procs guts here now, it's not the end of the world, but it's really not what you want. The music knows. Oh boy, I done goofed. Just live forehead. Okay, we gotta, don't. That's bad. Well, I think we can still win though, because she's that ridiculous. I'm pretty sure we're still gonna win, like, just fine, because watch our health go all the way back to full now. Because we get to heal twice before she can attack us again. Why am I yelling, by the way? I've heard the reboot of DMC, like the reboot of the reboot is like way better gameplay-wise. It doesn't fix anything like character-wise and, you know, writing-wise. Like, God, it's not like, obviously it's supposed to be a tongue-in-cheek series, but the writing in the reboot's just like, oh my God, it's so bad. Like, it's not good at being tongue-in-cheek. That's the thing. Do I cast? I don't know if I should have cast that there. I like how she missed both. What are the? Is it 60 or 80? Good God, I should not have done that. That was that was a mistake. Do I take advantage of the damage cut still? It's 2 turns. I think I do. Like, theoretically, she should be fine because she's also going to heal again. 60? Yeah, I should have waited because she makes it 100%. So yeah, I should have waited. I thought it was 80, but that's still unlucky though. Yeah, her crit buff is actually really important. Could probably live again. We're gonna heal again, and we still have damage cut. See, is there any reason to be that greedy though? The reason I'd be that greedy because then you have invulnerability, guts, invulnerability, right? Like, but I feel like there's no need to risk it. But I love getting extra value. I love getting extra value, dude. I just don't think there's any reason to be greedy now. That's the thing. You're gonna have 2 crit downs? That's true. You know what? Let's be greedy. Like, obviously we will win if I don't do this, and we might lose if I do this. But I want that value, man. I can't help it. And we have damage cut, and we're healing again. And we remove her attack buff. Hey, sometimes Hanako Greed wins and more than, you know, anyone else, right? But, we do get wrecked sometimes. Yeah, with double crit down, got rid of her attack buff. It'd have been very hard for us to have died there. Wow, I really do wish, though, I could have... I would have been better off not casting Charisma at all, and then just saving it and casting it now and having the crit buff. Like, that's so big. There's really no reason to remove that, but, I want my magic resist back. So we just shot her in the boob with a gun, by the way. That was kind of odd looking. Did not get our NP though. By the way, we're gonna get back to full health again. Because that's how she do. We could have done so much better though if I just used my first skill at a better time. We could have won by now. I tell you though, Luvia is a real threat. Her normal card damage is no joke, man. Like, and you know, a lot of bosses hit hard, but she definitely hits harder than most bosses. Generally, it's, even at neutral, it's pretty easy against a boss for Shako-Jana to, you know, be really, really tanky. But man, Luvia throws out some damage. Not as much as Gajuna, but still up there. All right, we're finally gonna move on. But look at this. We have damage cut again. We have another invulnerability, which somehow we never used this entire time. And so by the time we be at full health again, right? Our first skill's coming back. Like, jeez. A little bit of value on this one. Okay, finally though, that's enough Luvia murder, and now we can continue with Lostbelt 5, and, you know, I don't know, go fight Cerberus or something. Yeah, if you min-maxed this and you figured it out, and you got to change the command codes, I think. You do need the command codes to be tailored to the fight. But if you played perfectly, used the right CE command codes, she could do both health bars, definitely. Might even bust out the Yang CE. The horror. I missed the stage already, though. Yeah, I'll make the Spartacus thing a video. I was so happy with that solo. It was super fun. I did, because what I did on stream, I would not have made a video, because, you know, I was off by like one turn of value, and like getting that turn of value would have just been luck. So I had to find a way to just gain a turn of value without luck, and it took a while for me to find the right setup and then way to play. It was actually pretty rough, but I got it. And I'm super happy with it, so I'm really excited for that video. I'm gonna take my time though. I really gotta make sure I want the music to be super good. Because, you know, no story replay, so can't go back and do that solo again. Imagine having all these statues of yourself all lined up like that. That'd be really weird. Yeah, one of these, they make you use Assassin versus Caster and then Mash. So your Mash better be leveled. I don't think we really need the stars, so... Imagine if the Luvia enemy had her buffed NP. One Lonely Boy, thank you for the year resub, man. Right on the button there. Thank you, dude. That is a Spriggan. What is even the point? The music knows. What is even the point of Charlotte here? What the hell? And Zarek, thank you for the sub. All right, let's shoot this guy in the face. I feel like this, like, Sonic, you know, boss music from back in the day is pretty appropriate for a Spriggan. Don't crit me, bro. You know what? We don't even need our NP. Easy. Imagine needing his NP. What a joke. Charlotte is Orion's cheerleader, apparently. Yeah, these are like trials. Charlotte carried hard, yeah. Oh my god. This, dude, I can't, this is just the worst. I don't know what they were thinking with this one. I think they wanted it to be hard, which is fine, but it's I think the arc humanoid, I might just go with this. We go Mashu, Smashu, even though we're 10-4-4. We don't have Black Barrel yet. I think we stick with default then. Charlotte deserved the win dialogue. It's not really that good here because the enemies don't have enough health for it, like, to... It might save you like a turn on killing one thing, but you know what gets you a lot more than one turn on killing one thing? Literally anyone else that's not an assassin. Thankfully, there's only 3. Okay, the middle one does the most damage, so let's start smacking that one. Yeah, this is a really good song. There's a lot of good music from 13, honestly. I think we saved her third skill. Look at this damage, boys. So Mash dying is like the worst thing ever, so I need to be really careful here. That is the value, yeah. Why you gotta get a hand like that? Should've done that in turn 1, but I didn't think it was gonna like line up this way. Although if I don't kill as fast as I'm thinking, it's not gonna line up that way, and I shouldn't have cast that, but I think it's gonna work out. Okay, let's see. I got this. It's fine. Everything's fine. I just have to kill, oh, the middle one has to die before it NPs, right? Like, that's what has to happen for this to work out the way that I want it to. Come on, Mash. There you go. Alright, we got it. Surely they can do 8,000 in one turn. Easy. See? All good. Watch Mash get like double crit here. Ooh, well, I don't think anyone was expecting her to survive this. Cutting this a little bit close, but I think we got it. We still have evade. We're good. Oh. Okay, this is going to be closer than I thought, but I think we're still good. Way to go, Mash! Getting charmed by a fucking, like, corrupted... Like, I don't know what the hell that thing is, like, fucking... I guess it's like the brown spots is where, like, the nanomachines aren't, I guess? So, we could kill this turn, but we might not, so I'm just gonna make sure I don't die this turn, and I'll kill next turn no matter what. Yeah, I don't know what the enemy's deal is, to be honest. It's rusted? Yeah, I guess that would make sense. I'm not really sure, though. Yeah, it looks like it's a part where, like, the nanomachines aren't. Yeah, that's definitely what it is, looking at it like that. It looks like that's, like, a part where the silver stuff isn't. That was nice, though, because we might have been able to win last turn, but, like, doing what we did there, just no matter what, we could not die, so guaranteed win. Alright, that stage is out of the way. I wish they would do animation updates for the enemies. You don't have to do anything fancy. They take way less effort to make animation updates for than most enemies. You just, you know, because you don't have as many animations, right? So you can do it pretty easily. And like the generic dragon, I think 100% they should update. So he could be a more like cool, you know, mini boss. Like all the Luvias may have different poses. I don't even understand what half of them are doing, to be honest. Oh boy! Wow, that that's a fun combo there. I like how they don't have faux items, by the way. But that's an odd. I want to see this part in an anime, by the way. Muramasa made them. Yeah, I think that is right, actually. Yeah, cause see, they're clearly, that's like a part where the silver is not, so that's the same for the snakes. Like, clearly. Just these two. Guess getting Ricky's NP is my goal. I'm gonna NP the front one. Probably go and use Ricky's third skill now. Yeah, this is looking good. I guess if I was going to evade like that, I could have given him the taunt, really. I could just evade him now, though. Look at his defensive. Doesn't really matter. We got this. But yeah, I should have just evaded Ricky there. Hopefully Ricky can do the damage. $39K, let's go. That was probably the easiest one out of, well, no, Orion's was definitely the easiest one. The thing is, they want Orion to be the easiest one because it's like a way of showing how powerful he is, right? That kind of works. Like, they definitely did that on purpose. Look at these guys. She's kind of neutral, I would say, in this Lostbelt. I guess she's kind of good at the end. Yeah, here's where you, yeah, there it is. Good old Kodomine. She gives you some information and whatnot ultimately. And then her island gets blown the hell up because, you know, this Lostbelt. I can't remember, has Drake been shot yet? I don't think she has. I know she gets shot pretty soon though. She was pretty much destined to die. Oh yeah, this part. As soon as Achilles sees Paris, they start fighting pretty much. Default's fine. Yeah, Achilles is already nerfed though. When you see him in this Lostbelt, he helps you quite a lot, but he's like already got the nerfed comment form because he would like ruin the story if you had full power Achilles. You couldn't even make sense out of like why the characters are doing what they're doing and whatnot, but it's kind of contrived. But yeah, if Achilles was at full power in this story, it would be a lot easier. The reason he's not 90 is to represent the fact that he's nerfed. I wish he wasn't nerfed though, because so when he fights Chiron in APOC, Achilles is holding back quite a lot. He's not holding back with his skill, right? And obviously, you know, Achilles is winning, but he's not using his comet form and all these things. So you know, you wanted a more fair fight, right? Where in this story, Chiron is stronger, but then it's not even a remotely fair fight because Chiron has like a whole army with him and everything. So then of course Achilles would be willing to use his chariot and his comet form and all the shield and all the other things and stuff. But you know, because he's nerfed, he's, you know, still massively disadvantaged. But it'd be cool to see, like, you know, Chiron's stronger, but then Achilles not holding back, right? Like, that'd be really cool. Do I use the third skill? There's only 4 enemies, so yeah, this is very short term. I don't need to do long term stuff. Pretty much kill middle one, NP, win game. That 99% though, thankfully they attacked. Imagine if they had double drained. Can't miss the code! Achilles is one of the few NPs that I think is cooler in fast mode. Like the build up looks fine in slow-mo, but the overall it works way better in fast mode. Easy. It is cool though, Achilles got a good bit of a screen time in this story because I think a lot of people thought he wouldn't because of APOC, but it was really nice that he did. Because, you know, it's a Greek story and it'd be ridiculous. Imagine not having Hercules though in a Greek story. Especially when he was actually there. God, I'm never gonna let that go. Like, this was the time to do Archer Herc, and they were like, nope. Like, oh my, it's literally like because so many singularities might be based in X, you know, era or country, but then the story ends up being space nonsense, where this one actually got to be lots of Greek stuff. And so, not actually getting Archer Herc is just the worst, man. Pretty sure isn't that parts of our sub on the beach, if I remember correctly? I wouldn't really say I would not call Achilles in Lostbelt 5 fan service. The whole point of fan service is like something that's basically unnatural to like give the fans something they want just because the fans want it, not because it makes like, you know, artistic sense or anything. It makes do I even need to make this sentence? It makes complete sense for Achilles, one of the most famous Greek heroes, to be in the singularity set in Greece with all of the Greek heroes in it, right? Like, that's not fan service, that's just what one would expect, right? Like, fan service would be like Jolter being here for some fucking reason, and then her getting a shower scene, right? That's fan service, right? Achilles being here is just like, yeah, this is in line with what one would expect. Now, I think fan service is always forced into the story, in my opinion. Otherwise, it's not fan service. Now, like, you might take, because for example, let's say you have because fan service is normally used for like sex appeal, but it's not always. But let's say you have like a sex appeal in a moment in an anime or something, but it makes sense. Like, you know, it's a character in a setting that you would expect it in. But then like the camera work is like, lingering a lot and blah blah blah. Like that's obviously contrived, right? Like that. So it's, and normally, eye candy fan service is forced, right? Like, I don't really consider it fan service if it makes sense and it's logical and it's just part of what one would expect. Because otherwise, like, the whole word fan service doesn't even make any sense. I mean, Fate Strange Fake Herc is Archer Herc for, like, a page and a half. Then it's not Archer Herc anymore. But, you know, he is there for a moment. Yeah, they get on the same page eventually, but Apollo, man. I think this is a pretty straightforward stage, but I'll bring a normal team because I want Bond and that kind of thing. I get, honestly though, pretty much just for Arash and Hans. Other than that, I don't really need it. And eventually I would like to get Atalante's spawn CE on this account, but I don't think we're going to play this account that much beyond the main story and stuff, so it's not really that big of a deal. Oh yeah, I got Karna up, because this account needs a Saber, he has double XP, I think everyone wants to see it, so I'll have to level his skill ranks later, but I was going to level Bedivere, but I was like, okay, we'll do Karna, just because we have Bedivere on every account, so... But as much as I like Karna, I mean, Bedivere though, right? Like, they're both really good. Do that. Oh yeah, gotta work a Roshan somewhere though. Okay, Rip Chin Gong. There we go. Then we'll do Star Bomb. And then we could use Robin's third skill and make 40 stars, right? Although we're not 10-10-10, so it won't be 40 stars. But you know what I mean. Alright, this should work fine. Rex with the god hate. I'm not a huge fan of Apollo in the Fate verse either, though. Arash life is suffering, dude. Are we about to do the Buster Brave chain that never finishes? I think that's what we're about to do. I guess it's better to work in Robin's. This is just sad. Hey Marks, what's up, man? Thank you for the resub, dude. 2 years. You're just dropping by to drop a 2-year resub real quick. Thank you, man. Oof. Guys, I can make 40 stars. Guys, I can make 40 stars. It is really good. So I should have done Stella and like the other 2 cards, more damage total. I didn't think I needed it. That's so dumb. Yeah, we get a lot of NP gain off of it, but I would have much rather just killed that guy than put a huge crit turn into someone, and then I could have NP'd like this turn anyway, right? Because look how much overcharge I got. Hey, Finn. Guess I should have already cast that, because we're gonna whiff the heal like no matter what. You should kill it, I think. Wait, did I target the wrong one? I think I may have just targeted the wrong one. I don't think I targeted back to the one in the back. Okay, no. It's fine. I thought I got my enemy order confused. We're good. I thought the dragon was in the back. And this music works really well for like, you know, mid-battling on these islands, right? Like it actually works really well. They don't have any buffs, how unfortunate. Mini sheep. Oh, got him anyway. Feels good. Oh, he's level 80. That makes sense. So he doesn't have foe items, which means he's more like level like 72 or some crap. Nobody has a Buster card. Get 2 crits, we win. Easy. Triple crit though. Paris normally isn't a child, it's just tinkering by Apollo that made him summoned that way. And what I mean by that is they wanted him to be a child and they made up a reason for him to be one. Because obviously it's impossible for him to be a child for the events of, you know, the war to play out, right? It literally doesn't make any sense if he's a child, but he wasn't a child during the Trojan War. They just haven't get summoned like this because, ultimately because they wanted another kid in the game, but because they blame it on Apollo, so. Who knows, they might show off his adult version at some point. I don't think he's popular enough for them to make another version of him though. But you never know, because a lot of times writers make other versions of characters, you know, and they're not direct, they're connected to like Nasu and Type Moon, but they're not connected to F-Go. And so like I think that's how Avenger Boudica got made, wasn't it? Or wasn't that like a comic for like Fuyuki or something? I can't remember how that got a design. Like they had said there was an Avenger Boudica before that, but I don't remember why it got a design. It was something. I think it might have been related to F-Go, but it's not in F-Go specifically. It's a manga or something. Water, by the way. I know, I was really hyped for Odysseus too, and then they ruined it. At least his voice actor is good. I'll give him that one. You don't hear him voice much. I think he, I don't know if he's newer to the industry or if I just haven't seen him in anything, but I haven't seen him do much. Okay, get a team again. Go Ushi. Could do Martha. Do Martha and Ushi, but it's good to have like one support. No, you know, all riders, let's go. It'll be fine. Feels bad, Rex. I'm actually glad I got her though, because Lantoria is in this weird. It's really strange. It's like where story lock can screw you over because. Okay, so if a character is one of your favorite characters, then being story locked does not really matter because you're just gonna save up and gun for them when they're rated up, just like you would a limited character, right? So no different. And then you might happen to get them and like, you know, a class banner to maybe go for that because they're in it, or so on and so forth, right? But for somebody that like likes the character, but I'm not gonna ever like save up for Lantoria and roll like 1,000 SQ on her banner, right? Like I'm gonna save for like Sir Kay and you know, Richard and stuff like that, right? Like it's just, I do like Lantoria, but not really enough to do that. And because she's story locked, which means, you know, I'm not gonna get spooked by her when I do roll on the ones that I really like. So it's like, yeah, there's almost no way for me to ever get her, right? So I'm really glad that I got her because it's nice to have her on an account, like a side account like this, because none of my other accounts really would ever have a chance of getting her. So it's actually kind of cool that I got her over here. And because of that, I might actually try to get her NP2 eventually on this account, because it's just kind of a unique thing where, you know, this account's going to have something that all of my other accounts probably will never have. And I do like Lantoria enough that that's kind of cool. So, and hey, she might get an animation update and a buff someday, so. 500 for 4 Pedivere copies. Boy, that's a trip right there. Yeah, I would think she would get her rate up around the second Camelot movie. I might save up then on this account for that, just because again, this is probably the only account that ever gets her, so it'd be kind of cool to have her NP2. Something unique. And it's nice too because like this account just through luck got a lot of the same stuff that I normally get on my other accounts. My other account's gun for those things, like in Kidu and Mordred and all that. And that you know, that's something you could do, Rex, if you do want to get her to start saving for that. Because I mean, we don't know for sure she's going to get a rate up, but I feel like I think there's a pretty decent chance either on the second movie or sometime after it or around it, right? Kind of like how the APOC collab was a little bit after APOC. I would think, yeah, I know, but you know, start saving now. You save all your summon tickets now, save all your SQ now, and by the time the second movie comes out, you might have a sizable chunk. So, you know, just iron will it. You'll be all right. Oh, they drained Martha. Those bastards. They should have arch-chained then. I'm not gonna need this many NPs though. Like, the last wave is not gonna be like the hardest thing ever. Can you stop draining Martha though? That is funny, Rex, that you're all right, they are both 5-star Dragon AoE Lancers. I always just try to maximize my odds as often as possible because, like, yeah, sometimes you have a banner where you roll 600 SQ and you don't get what you want, but then sometimes you roll 30 SQ and you get what you want, so yeah, you really just can't have enough. I should have just used someone's NP. I should have just used someone's NP and killed this thing. I'm not gonna need all these NPs. Like, what am I stocking up for, right? We're not about to fight Zeus or Demeter or anything. It'd be nice to start the Demeter fight like this, though. Imagine them giving you Achilles for the Demeter fight instead of Canis, by the way. Be a bit good. The next time I use one of Lost units, I want to use this song. I wanted to use it last time, but it just didn't really work out. But, you know, name pun. Do you have Martha, Rex? I would assume you do. You've been playing for a while. Very rare to not have a default 4-star for that amount of time. As I don't have Achilles on my main account, by the way. Dude, I know I bitch about this all the time, but it's stupid. It's legit stupid. I've been playing my main account for almost 5 years, right? I have every default 4-star. That's like not like, you know, some, you know, limited or some shit. Because that's actually not that, you know, unlikely, really, with how long I've been playing. But I rolled on things like White Day and shit when he's like, your odds of getting him are way better. Like, although not the last White Day because they randomly rated up the Burb because fuck you, I guess. I'm so fucking pissed about that. But anyway, it's so crazy to me that I have all the other 4-stars and I haven't like done things to try to get them. And after all this time, still no Hercules. At least, you know, this account, I you know, went way out of my way to make sure I got him, and I'll pick him for my free 4-star ticket and everything. But so now I'm like, you know, do I even take Herc as my free 4-star ticket now that this account has them and I've already got him to Bond 10? But like my NA account, you know, I got him for my tutorial summon, and then NA gave NA players like extra tutorial summons, right? Where JP never got those, by the way. And so I got a lot of, you know, you could pick which one you wanted, and I got other Hercs. And then I got spooked by Herc, so I got 3 Hercs on NA. And so he's Bond 10 on NA, and he's Bond 10 on this account. And if my main finally gets them, then I have to do the Bond 10 thing again. But I am so tired of not having Herc on my main, dude. Oh, I've gotten Liz like 3 or 4 times, right? Like, cause yeah, that's the one that I needed. But yeah, I've gotten Martha and Carmella, you know, all the, you know, unlimited 4-stars. Oh man, Blackboard. Dude, I really do like the cast in Lostbelt 5. I would love them to make Lostbelt 5 1 and 2 in anime, because it's got really good pacing. It's got awesome villains that have like build up and they do things, and there's lots of fight scenes, and the cast for both halves of it are really good and everything. Like and just the climax is like the best. So yeah, I if out of all the F Go stuff, I really do want Lostbelt 5 1 and 2 animated the most. Then probably Lostbelt 1. Lostbelt 1 was surprisingly good. I was really surprised. Like I knew the cast. I liked the cast. Like a VC Braun, Beowulf, and Billy, and all these things, right? But I was kind of expecting it to be a bit more like the older stories. But it was done a lot better. So I really liked it. Makes you feel any better? I got my Herc through a ticket, and it's been in NP1 for 3 years. Yeah, so yeah, if you've gone through a ticket, then you didn't, you haven't rolled them yet. So yeah, same boat. Feels bad. But I've historically always, every single time, I've always used my 4-star ticket to make a 4-star a higher NP rank, because there's a lot of 4-stars that I like. And if you have them sitting there in NP1, you really want them to be at least NP2. Then they're kind of like complete, right? So every 4-star ticket they've ever done, I've always used on upgrading an NP rank instead of picking one that I didn't have. Also, generally ones that I super want, I get them when they're rated up, right? Because I normally will have saved up, and I don't roll often. So if they do add a 4-star that I like, I'm generally, sitting on so much SQ that I can get them. But Beowulf never got a rate up until the other day, so. Yeah, I would really wish they would animate Lostbelt 1, just because it like kind of sets the foundation of what the hell's going on. And honestly, I'm not being biased here. I just really think if you're trying to introduce the concept of Lostbelt 1, you got to show the prologue. It's too important. You can't not have the prologue in if you're trying to tell the story of 2.0. And the prologue is directly tied to Lostbelt 1. And then Lostbelt 1 builds up like Zeus and everything, right? So I think going like prologue Lostbelt 1 is one thing, into 4 and 5 would be a great, no hate for the other stories, but they're not really necessary. Like if you're trying to tell the overarching story of Lostbelts and properly build up Wadim and all the villains and everything, I really do think prologue 1 is absolutely necessary. It's super important. And then those flow really well into 4 and 5. I really think you could skip 2 and 3 and it really wouldn't matter. They're pretty self-contained, and most of the foreshadowing and stuff in those you could just put in other places and it would not matter. Now, someone may, subjectively like the characters and stuff in those stories, and that's fine, but I really do think it's having a smooth story that you can just watch, doing, prologue 1, 4, 5, and whatever ends it, is the way to go. I think easy. The thing is, they didn't even bother to do that with 1.0, right? You can't watch the story of Fate Grand Order in anime form and have it be coherent, right? They did Fuyuki, and they didn't really flesh it out or do a very good job with it, and then they went straight to Babylon, right? It's okay, it does not make a good flow, right? The whole backdrop of what the main characters are doing and the reason why they're in Babylon doesn't really even exist and everything, and it doesn't work so good. But yeah, I think it'd be really weird to not do the prologue, and then the prologue is so directly connected to 1, which is good storytelling, by the way. That's why Lostbelts have been good for the most part. It'd just be so weird not to do Lostbelt 1. I really think they need to do it, and I would just make the prologue part of Lostbelt 1. Make it one movie or OVA series or anime, whatever they're doing. Do Lostbelt 1 with the prologue as a thing, right? You could probably do it in an OVA or 2 or one good movie. The way it's paced and stuff, I think you could do it in one movie. If you it'd be with the prologue, it'd be a bit tough, but I think you could do it. Yeah, you could episode 0 the prologue and then make a movie or something like that. I think that would work fine. Because I doubt they're gonna want to dedicate a whole anime to it. I'm so pissed if they just don't do it at all though, because then the rest of the Lostbelts will just feel really random. And I love that account name, by the way. the motto is so good. Oh, we can use whatever we want now. How am I out of water already? Hold on, I gotta get water. What the hell? I don't understand how I'm already. I was literally trying to drink out of my cup and no water was coming out. I was like, what the hell? Alright, I'm back. I got a bagel. So, I wish FGO did a few things, well, a lot of things really differently, but I was thinking about it. One reason why in FGO, I basically have to stockpile is because we don't have safety nets. They don't have particularly good rates on 4 stars, even if they're like really old units and stuff like that. Where like in Arc Knights, it's really not hard to get 4 stars, and if there's a specific one you want, you can very much target them and like pick the tags for them, and you will. It's not going to take that long to get them. You will get them if you put the effort in, right? Where, my God, FGO, it's like if they ain't rated up, it ain't. Oh my God, it's so random. Like, you play FGO for a long time, and yes, you are going to have a lot of 4 stars, right? You're going to, but you know, getting like a specific one like Herc, if that's the only one you're missing, the odds of you getting him anytime soon are pretty bad. Your 4 stars are like 3.5 stars, but I think you get what I'm saying. It's like, and I've played a lot of these games now, and FGO is the only one where I'm like, yeah, I basically have to stockpile or die because there's not even a safety net, right? So obtaining like in Genshin and stuff, it's like obtaining the one right under the max rarity is not that hard to get ultimately. And getting a large variety of them is not hard to do. Where in FGO, it's not the worst, but it's not that great either, right? Like I really wish they did 4 stars differently in FGO. Although, you know, the 4-star tickets help, but they didn't do one this year because they did a 5-star ticket. So that was that felt kind of bad if you're a fan of like the, you know, the non-5-star stuff. Yeah, something like that lost in FGO would be nice. Like a rotating rare prism unit, stuff like that you could spend rare prisms to get a 4-star, and that changes every month or something. I'm okay with this. I keep forgetting to bring a Raj. Do I have 2030? I do. Switch Mystic Code is bad here, but I want the XP, so this is not too hard so far. Yeah, the 3-star rate up is not great. They want you to spend several hundred SQ to get them generally. which is still easier than getting a 5-star, but and you know, they know you want that, you know, a 3-star in P5, where a lot of people are happy to get a 5-star in P1 or 2, right? But with 3 stars, people very much want in P5. Yeah, every time you pull a 3-star, the rate up is only 10%. So now, granted, you pull 3 stars very often, so you know ultimately it is more likely than the 5-star. But when you pull a 5-star, it's a 70% chance to be the rate up. Bit of a difference. This is kind of fun synergy. Gets pinned 30% NP every turn. You know what? These are Greek males. Easy. And what I mean by that is they're actually Achilles. Look at that damage! Good God! Rip that guy. That's one Achilles down. Bet you that one's dead too, actually. Yep. I think she killed him twice. There. See, no cards on this one, but she could NP it, but that seems unnecessary. Big Han's damage. Got that buster up from Penth. Damn. There we go, 8k, I'll take it. Match going in, man. I wish I had Atlas and I could just keep her third skill going. Feels bad using Penth's NP with her skills not up. That kind of sucks. Penth once heard the word chill and only heard Achilles. Yeah, that sounds about right. Can you imagine, like, you know, Penth's in a Grail War or something and fighting somebody and she's getting kind of worked up, and then her master's just like, yo, chill. Like, someone's gonna fucking die. Like, even if they're not fighting a Greek or anything, right? Someone's gonna fucking die. Oh, we have anti-Greek again. Let's just hit this one. Let's see the damage here. What? David, though! David was like, hold my staff! I guess David doesn't like Achilles either. I don't understand how Lost Woods is playing right now, but I'll take it. Alright, chat, does anyone here have high expectations for New Year's for FGO? No. No, no, nope. Lol, no, 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 no. Pog, no. Okay, yep, not, Yes. We have one yes. I have medium expectations. I'm like, can we get, you know, like Ushi animation update with the new Ushi and like the fucking command code quality of life update, for God's sakes. That, okay, whoa. I have seen this several times in like games, anime, you know, whatever, where they'll have like the NPC characters where they don't want to give them like a lot of detail or whatever because they're not like an important character, right? Like, you know, school kids walking by or whatever. But this would take really no effort. They already did a fair bit of effort with like the hair and everything. Like, she's just missing eyes. That's it, right? You did the eyebrows, all of it. So I'm like, Jesus Christ, like, because this looks so much like a normal character. It looks like a character that has no eyes for some reason, right? That's what it looks like. Opposed to, oh, hey, it's like a, you know, kind of a minor character that we're not putting as much detail into. Like that, what the hell? Just, at this point, just draw the fucking eyes. Like, it's not even that big of a deal. Like, hot damn, that looks whack. Same thing, what the fuck? Oh yeah, man, we're really dialing down the detail here, except you're not. Like, they put rings in his hair. Like, he's worse. They actually put quite a bit of effort into that design, but they just couldn't be bothered to draw eyes, and now it just looks creepy as hell. I don't understand. It's just the eyeless village. Dude, I'm telling you, if you're gonna draw this much of them, draw their goddamn eyes. Like, eyes aren't even that hard to draw. I'm so confused. Why would you do it like this? Like, that's just so creepy. That's just so creepy that they just draw the eyes, dude. I guess it's because sometimes they represent multiple characters. You run into another girl that uses the same sprite, but like, it's okay. Just, people will still get it, right? If they're named like Girl A and Girl B, right? And you can just, you know, color swap their hair or something. Like, goddamn. Uh-oh. I don't remember what the difference between the top and bottom option is, but guess we're using Achilles. And before they're all casters, I kind of want to fail safe in case they are casters. You know what? We're doing what the story should have done. Alright, this should be fine. I'll use a real Mystic Code for this one. I will say, New Year's has been very inconsistent for FGO. Sometimes it's like just quality of life stuff, maybe like dailies half AP and crap like that. But sometimes they've done like full-blown events. Like they did the Benny one and stuff. Now, I would lean towards they're not doing that this time, just because they have not really been overflowing with new content in the last year or so. And with the Christmas event being like, you know, ending today, I don't know, maybe they do a small event though, because it's not like every event has to be as big as like the Benny event or whatever. I think they might do a little something, but it really is hard to say because New Year's has had really no consistency with the way they handle it. They've really been all over the place. It's hard to be more underwhelming than the anniversary this time. Like, the 5th year anniversary was so underwhelming, and it was so blech, that and the expectations were so high. That's the big thing. The expectations for New Year's is not as high. The 5th year anniversary was such a big landmark. I mean, I am not the only one that's like, wow, this is a really big landmark, and they normally try to do big stuff on the anniversary. This is gonna be big, right? And it was so not that. Like, it was so not. At least the music was good. I'll give it that. The music was really cool, but and that has nothing to do with the game, obviously. So with New Year's, it's like the expectations aren't nearly as high. So I don't think it's going to be as underwhelming. Like I don't think so. God, the quality of life updates around New Year's and everything, or anniversary, man, that was not great. Story replay would have that'd have been, or like a new game mode, or you know, something like that. That'd have been nice. They did have a lot of SQ, but when you at the time, I think I had like 2,000 some odd, so I didn't really care. I normally don't. Like, my whole thing is, rolling on new units is great, but you need to have content you want to do with those units. That's a really big part of just video games, period, not necessarily just FGO specifically. And the core gameplay of FGO and, like, you know, your cards, your skills, and all that stuff is fine. It's just that what you're allowed to play is not fine. You know, their dailies are terrible and boring and old, and there's no, like, fun side game modes. Nothing. If you want to, like, hey, I've done all the farming I need to do, I don't need to do the event, or I finished the event, you know, I want to go build up my units, I want to go test them on something, right? And a lot of games have something to go test things on. Like, oh, you can do the boss mode, or the, you know, the tower mode, or what, you know, but they don't got that. Like, they don't got shit, and you can't even replay the fucking story. So it's just like, it's pretty frustrating, you know, especially when FGO has better, you know, core gameplay, I think, than a lot of its competitors. But then it doesn't give you anything to use it on. It's like, yep, you got all this cool, like, you know, min-maxing you can do with your value and everything against, you know, farming stages that you couldn't lose if you tried. Yep, that's exciting. I want to get Achilles's, I mean, Herc's art card with someone else's art bonus, so we'll do that. The really weird turn there, but I gotta get some MP gain for Herc here. So the good thing about Grailfront is they said they are bringing it back at some point, and like they're trying to, you know, flush it out and make it better. What I'm worried about is what they mean by bring it back is bring it back for a event, and then they made it better, but then it's gone again, right? That's what worries me. Is that I swear, the fact that they put as much work into it as they did, which wasn't that much to be honest, but it was still more than like what they would normally do for an event gimmick. And if they're trying to, you know, touch it up more, surely they would want to justify that kind of work by having it be something more than just a temporary thing. I don't know why they're so obsessed with temporary things, and I don't mean units. I mean, like, you know, gameplay things and stuff. I don't get it. You know, it's like the story is temporary, which is just nuts. I mean, that's just absolutely nuts. You know, maybe I shouldn't have used my quick up, because then maybe wouldn't have killed them, and I could do the art quick there. That's a big boy. If he crits an AoEs, I think Herc will get his NP, or if he just attacks Herc. It's gonna close. Yeah, he just has to get hit once. Come on. Come on, AoE, AoE, AoE! Oh, I taunted. Right. Well, the AoE would still work. So yeah, I needed him to AoE, that was the only way. God damn it. Well, I mean, Achilles got his, so good enough, right? It's true, it is a Hydra. No one has, okay, you know what? We don't use Achilles NP. We get hurt. We got it. Wait. I was gonna get Herc's NP anyway. Why am I doing this? We got. Well, I mean, Achilles might have killed it. That's the thing. Achilles might have killed it. Because you know he's counterclassing it and he had attack up and quick up. Okay, this is better. I can't wait to have Hercules at NP2. Just give me a free 4-star ticket and I'll pick him and we'll get a big damage boost and it's all great. Gotta hit all the heads here. You know you killed when you don't see the defense down. Man, imagine having Archer hurt with Achilles, man. It'd be great. Oh. That's actually kind of bad. That wasn't great timing for that. What do you think about that, Rex? All that AP we just got. Yeah, I know, they didn't even give Atlas a design, which is pretty unfortunate. Orion, dude. Thankfully, this I don't really care if I whiff AP on this account because it's built up a decent amount of apples and the time we've had it. Like, yeah, it's not nearly as good as my other account, but I probably will do some last second lottery. I'll probably wrap up the stream in like 10 minutes or so, and then I'll probably like eat, and I'll do like some absolute last second lottery shenanigans. Yeah, we'll do one more stage. I think we'll wrap up. Cause yeah, it would be wise of me to get a little bit of farming in at the end. I'm pretty happy with what I got done on my accounts, but a little extra push couldn't hurt. You know what? Let's do that. If only we had Hohenheim. Wow, Cairo only has NP4. Tisk, tisk, tisk. I'm gonna totally give him a shit about this later. Let's go 111 Karna here. I probably have what I need to level his skills. I'll just have to check. No CE Arash. That's the serious setup. Hey, we just now started rolling for Asclepius. Thank you. Also, Rex, you don't want to make me roll more story because you know how that's going to end. I really think I am going to save up on this account though to try to get MP2 Lantoria, and then we'll go back to spamming story. Like, I think because I just happened to get her MP1, it'd be nice to try to get her MP2, then that kind of, you know, sets her up, and then something really unique that this account has that none of my other accounts have. Man, his stage 3 is a trip, man. Like the extended thing on his hat or mask is just really whack. Like, it's really out there. Like, that is a look right there. I want to get my NP the normal way, then use all of our stuff. These berserkers, though. Imagine these guys working together, dude. Not a fan of the amount of damage I just took there. I just want Antonio's NP the normal way, then I want to use like the battery from Karna, although I didn't level up so it won't give me as much, but see what we can make happen here. I want to NP the second wave and see if we can like get another NP right away. What if Karna crits and kills it though? I mean, he shouldn't? Well, let's be safe. It's got a defense up though. Okay, yeah, we were fine. And I can't get it. The deck just shuffled and I can't get. I only need like one hit on Antonio, man. Don't crit, don't crit, don't crit. Oh my god, Karna. Oh, right, we're an Avenger. And the roundup. It only gives 3, but he gets the roundup, so. All good. That's a skill animation. I feel like that voice line should be different in his third stage because he's like roaring in the skill animation, but then the same voice line comes out. It's a little weird. The goal is for the middle one to survive the NP, then I finish it off with the art extra. Yes, yes, here we go. Only we had Hohenheim, but still. Okay, so then I think Karna, because the skill's not maxed, is only going to give 10%. So, but it was okay. Still a decent amount of refund, but definitely could have been better. Man, 41 stars though. Hell yeah. All right, let's see what Karna's got. Hold up. For to end the stream, let me there we go. Santa Claus no beban. Santa Claus no beban. 皆が望むクリスマスのために左右右左左右思いを込めて打つべし打つべしウイニングアルカプトラ Oh my god. Wow, damn. That was some damage. That's at 111. Shit. Man, Karna could just blow that up. Okay, I guess he blew it up anyway. We did all that work to get Antonio a double NP, and then Karna was just like, I got this. I got this. Don't worry about it. Jesus. I'm looking forward to using Karna for some boss fights, man. It's gonna be a good time. Wish we had story replay and I'd, go use them now. Alright, boys. I think we're gonna wrap up there. This is the goal. I'm gonna try to eat, relax a bit, do some farming until the lottery explodes, and then I might play, maybe like a little Genshin or something, because the event is going on over there and I'm behind, so I might play a little bit of that. But, we shall see. But thank you everybody for hanging out. I'm gonna go to live with the lottery. You guys have a good one, and let's see. Is the New Year's update tonight, or is that gonna be tomorrow? I guess it's gonna be tomorrow night, I guess. So we probably got a little bit of time before any news. But, soon! Alright, I will raid somebody, because if I play Genshin, that'll be, a good 20-30 minutes later. And whatnot, so let's raid... We'll raid Kadroth. Here we go. Man, I'm so excited to do Lostbelt 5-2. I'm so excited. Because Lostbelt 5-1 is fun, but oh my god, 5-2 is just the best. I'm so excited to do that. Alright, go get them, lads. And I will hopefully see you all tomorrow. This music makes you want to just punch something.